These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever indebted to your priceless advice. Hey, wait.
These two grown men had never seen the Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of America's Barley Basket, episode 93. Goddamn.
We're doing it.
Of America's Barley Basket. I'm your host, Marlon Wells, alongside host Nathan Folsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How goes it?
Okay, we're recording this a little later than usual, after 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
Yeah, rocking a little late night on a school night. It is Sunday as we record this.
A few Miller Lattes. I'm very full of buffalo meat, so we'll see. This is, I'm not the historian. I'm not the America's Barley Basket historian. Is this our first buffalo meat-fueled episode? Probably.
Our first bison-fueled episode, probably, yep.
So let us know if you think this was a detriment or a boon for the show.
I ate bison today also, earlier. So.
I was just trying to think of what else we could eat during this. I want to see you with the Miller Lattes.
Yep.
Eat a whole package of Velveeta American slices. Just casually, we can hear the soothing sound of you unfolding
of the crinkle of the slice opening.
And do you shove it all in your mouth with your finger, or do you do a flip and a flip to make a smaller square and throw that in your mouth?
I think you, like a child, are just holding this floppy disc of cheese and taking big nibbles.
See, I am someone that will eat individually wrapped cheese alone.
Don't like it.
I'll do the flip and the flip and then nibble on it that way.
Okay, so you got a thick chunk.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that at all.
Yeah,
I'll sit and eat a block of cheese. Yeah, like a fucking animal. Just a block of fucking habanero jack or Kobe or marble jack.
One thing I've seen, it's like a trope on social media. It's like standing over the sink eating shredded cheese. I've never been
out of the bag.
I'm gonna eat block cheese if that's the case.
I would rather, but if I don't have it on hand and I have shredded cheese on hand, which I don't really these days, I'll take a fucking 3-finger chaw pinch out of a fucking bag of shredded cheese. I don't give a fuck.
I am never without block cheese. That's a staple in the Full Smoke household. Yeah.
I love it, but I can't. Yeah. I weigh too many numbers to have block cheese at my house.
You're just eating them whole like a candy bar. It's like, what do you mean cut a chunk off? They come individually wrapped.
Yeah, you throw the wrapper away.
That's
like
when you know
saw someone at a party spin the cap off a bottle of Jägermeister and throw the cap away. Yeah, you're like, oh no. Nope. Oh, here we go.
There's 4 of us here.
We're at my friend's graduation ceremony. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can't have cheese in the house. I can't be trusted with it.
We'll work on that. We'll start you off with little cheese blocks and build you up from there.
You get those little Baby Bell, little discs.
Cut it in half and leave the other half in the fridge. You're getting up in the middle of the night to go look at the other half.
Those fucking Baby Bell discs are fucking good.
Tasty,
I'll sit and
right.
eat a dozen of those over the sink like an animal.
That's a good little gas station treat.
Yep.
Yeah. So this has been Cheese Talk. The Simpsons are kind of cheese colored. We're
sort of like an American, like a Kraft singles color.
Not a healthy
not
cheese.
Not a good cheese. Yeah,
you're not getting that at like a charcuterie plate in fucking Paris.
Right. Yeah. They're like a gas station liquid nacho cheese color is what they are, which I'm also not against. I don't know that I've met a cheese I don't like. I don't love blue cheese.
Yep, blue cheese is for me. That's my cheese kryptonite.
And to be fair, I haven't gone super hard in the paint to get into some cheeses I can't pronounce. I'm sure there's some bad ones out there.
The handful of times in my life I have eaten a fancy boy charcuterie plate, there's always one cheese where I'm like, icky. There's like that one, where I go ishy and I wipe my hands on my shirt, like a little kid.
I picture you with a regular charcuterie board, and it's okay, here's some Parmesan. Yep, recognize that one. Okay, here we go. Here's a cheddar. Okay, I know that one. Yeah. And here's a triple cream brie, and you're just like, nah. Yeah.
I don't even lean over to spit it. I just spit it out, and it falls on my chin and my chest. Icky.
Just soft brie dripping down your chest. It's all gummed up in your beard.
No.
Oh, brie's so good. Fucking put it right in your veins.
Yeah.
Actually, don't. That'll kill you.
Yeah,
But
well, what a way to go.
how'd you die? Oh, I had a fucking cheese coronary.
I let the cheese darkness consume me.
I had a embryolism. Ugh. Even I'm not proud of that one.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
As soon as I said it, I was like, I'm going to have to cut that part out.
Telling your doctor that joke. Hey, what do you think of this?
Running material past my doctor. You act like I have a doctor. Like I have a primary care. This is America, and I'm in my 30s.
I've had a primary care doc for dozen years now.
Oh, congratulations, you boozy broad.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, she just moved, so I don't have one anymore. I got some new
So we're
jabroni.
lying now. We lie on the show
but I mean,
now.
it wasn't my thing. I had one, and she decided to get a job elsewhere. So now they got some new jabroni stepping in. He ain't the same.
I used to have a lot of things, but if you don't anymore, it doesn't count.
He's no Kristen. I mean, he's still technically under my name, primary care doc, but he's got to earn that title. Earn that. He has not earned that title.
He hasn't held up my balls or
Well,
finger punched my butthole nearly enough to have that
I haven't
title.
had the butthole fingered yet.
Neither have I. No matter how many times I ask for
And
it.
I present. I perk the cheeks
I've
up.
seen it
Yeah.
at comedy shows.
Oops, dropped my wallet.
Fucking got a doctor. You're laying sideways. Got a doctor with his shoulder up under one butt cheek, trying to get it up. He's lifting a fucking bag of water softener salt.
So I got to send in a couple boys that are summer helped. DJ Casey, get in here.
Luckily, we got a couple of farm boys in here to help me get at your dirt button.
But I figure I got to be getting close to that age where they got to.
I'm surprised that you haven't gotten the diddle yet.
No.
Maybe they don't want to.
Yeah, that would hurt to find that out. Like, to go to another hospital, I'm like, why wasn't this? You have a physical every year. Like, yeah, it's like, this never been suggested. I was like, no, I brought it up and they told me I'm not old enough. It's like, you should have done this 11 years ago. It's
just hurtful.
Yeah.
That's how a doctor bullies you.
Yeah. It's like, your prostate is as solid as a Charleston chew. It's supposed to be mushy. It's an internal organ.
Instead, it's full of calcium and swelled up like a softball. Troublesome butthole stuff.
Yeah.
Troublesome butt stuff is
your folk album.
A lot of banjo.
You with your fingers crossed over the head of a 12-string acoustic with just this big proud smile. Troublesome butt stuff.
And that's all it says. Is that his name? Is that the title of the album?
Your answer to it, yes.
Filling out the paperwork for a legal name change to change your name to Troublesome Butt Stuff.
Yeah, I love TBS.
The Superstation. Oh, fuck. Whew.
Well, I can't think of any way to segue into it, but we got to talk about the Simpsons.
I guess the cheese-colored Simpsons.
We're contractually obligated to bring them up on this podcast.
Sign nothing.
Yeah, that is true. We don't have to. I feel like we owe it at some point.
Fair.
We're getting in the second half of the season 21 of The Simpsons. We're starting off this hot batch with episode 16, The Greatest Story Ever Doed, as in dough.
I was afraid that this was going to be a collection of Bible stories when I saw the title. I thought this was going to be a 3-part anthology episode.
Episode starts with Ned leading Bible study for just a random cross-section of Springfield, which I got a kick out of because what we see is Mrs. Skinner and Jimbo.
Yeah. That's a fun pairing.
Yeah. Which I'm going to say this off the bat here. This whole batch, and maybe this season in general, not necessarily a lot of big laughs, but just consistent chuckling.
Yep.
Because there's other seasons in the last 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons where we had dry spells of laughter.
Yep.
Say what you want about these episodes, we're getting laughs.
I think this entire season up to this point much like this batch in Microcosm, has been moderately good jokes and better than moderate storytelling.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like good stories with fine jokes.
Yeah, I think maybe you like the stories more than me, but I see where you're coming from. So again, Ned doing Ned things, leading the Bible study, and he's trying. Ned is of course going to give 110%, but goddamn Homer is next door, being a complete fucking clown and distracting everyone because they're in front of like the big living room picture window. I think at one time he's on like a slip and slide.
Yep.
And the kids are they using him as a bobsled?
They're like riding on him.
And they're like doing like a chant, which I think is a bobsled, so your timing is correct and jumping on him.
Yeah. Are we both from the era and poverty level where a slip and slide seemed like an unattainable fantasy?
Yep.
Okay.
Where there were kids I never saw one in the trailer park, but I've heard of other kids I grew up with that either they had one. This was town kids.
Mm-hmm.
They either had one or a neighbor had one.
Okay. I'm sure some town kids had to have where I'm from, but like to me, like, oh my God, a slip and slide? Like, there's too many cacti out here. Where
it's just,
would you
I'm
put it?
picturing shattered cattle teeth everywhere. So it's like, how many layers of plastic you'd have to lay down before you could comfortably. And
No, we can't have a slip and slide. There's too many horse bones.
And I think I was such an uncoordinated kid, and I was tall. The idea of, even when I was a slender young boy, of running and diving
just dropping,
on your
yep.
torque. Like, I remember little kid baseball when they explained, okay, next year you're gonna be able to steal bases, and it's like, that sounds like it hurts. Like, just like, could you imagine right now running as hard as you could? I could have ended that with imagine running. That's story. Like, let's push our believability back a little bit here. Running as hard as you could, Superman diving onto the ground.
Yeah,
every rib would dislocate. It would it would sound like someone playing a xylophone, like,
yep.
oh fuck, and then the screaming would commence. But
yeah, the idea of having a slip and slide, so far.
You know what?
Me.
The next question on my list was,
okay,
Marlon, did you ever own a slip and slide, or Super Crocodile Mile? Because there was a time a Crocodile Mile took over.
That?
They were became the America's leader in backyard water fun. It was basically a slip and slide, but what they did,
backyard water fun sounds like something that you lock the bedroom door
a swingers
for.
party.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
But a Crocodile Mile, where I think a slip and slide was just wet garbage bags. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Crocodile Mile had a jump in the end. Super Crocodile Mile had like a hula hoop that had holes drilled into it, so water shot down
like
from that.
Like a gate that you slide through. I remember the ads. Yep.
Yeah, there's something.
And maybe some of those fringes hanging down for you
something
to go
like
crashing
that.
through.
And then perhaps you could, I think maybe in the ads, there's also like a little wading pool. That might have been something you supplied. Did you ever have that as a little kid?
Yes.
Yep.
It was mostly used to give the dog a bath.
Yep. I remember my mom babysat kids, sort of like 5 little kids in a time, and my mom would cook hot water on the stove, so she'd come up with a kettle of water and dump it in. They should still make Norman Rockwell pictures for the 70s and 80s, because that's a bunch of grubby
and it's
trailer
your
park.
mom filling a wading pool with a tea kettle,
smoking a goddamn Misty 100 cigarette, dumping a steaming hot. The same thing she would cook macaroni and cheese with for us later that morning.
Yeah, we had a wading pool. I remember as a kid, like I can barely remember, like sitting in it or something, like whatever.
Yeah.
But my main memory of the little like blue plastic wading pool is that's where you gave the dogs a bath like 3 times a summer.
Yeah. So like, I guess when there were town kids, like. So I guess, but so many people you were at farmed, so your mom was around the house, so there was no need for babysitting or daycare. Your mom was just there to take care of you, I guess. Like,
or I was working in the field.
Yeah, you're with
mom
your
and
dad. Yeah,
like my mom didn't fucking poke around the house all day. Like my mom was also in the field. Like we were ranchers.
Yeah, like
my mom was a harder worker than my dad ever was.
That's so weird to think of that. Like there weren't just armies of unwatched kids roaming the streets. You know?
No, there was me.
Just looking in the distance for a smokestack or any proof of life.
There was me playing horse by myself.
Oh, I did a lot of that too. a lot of shooting baskets on an uneven hoop.
In a fucking in an oblong shaped basketball hoop, because every time the wind blows it tips over.
Or for us, it was you played on one side too long and the dirt dug down. It's like your layups on one side are 11 feet high. On the other side, it's 8. I got almost dunk over here.
There wasn't much tearing up happen where our basketball hoop was, because one chubby boy playing horse by himself doesn't exactly rip up the turf too bad.
See, well, we had some intense one-on-one games, so it became, my mom would get mad how many socks we'd ruin because all that black dirt.
The dirt's not black where I come from, so
there's no dirt.
It's sand.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Powdered bones.
Just all those cow teeth.
I like this new wrinkle of it's just cow teeth.
And old settlers' bones.
Yeah. That's how I grew up.
Yeah. As you shoot and make a 3, and the ball lands on a cow skull horn and deflates. And then you shoot in the deflated thing.
Just flumps up against the backboard.
It lands on the back of the hoop and doesn't move.
Lays there.
It just hangs over like a Salvador Dali clock.
Yeah. As I just walk into the house real somberly.
You look like a little kid from a Far Side comic strip. Big thick glasses, chubby.
Oh, fuck. I don't think I ever punctured a ball on a cow skull, but other than that, you're pretty fucking close.
Or you ever have where you'd miss a shot at ricochet and roll way one direction and just go in? It'll be there tomorrow.
It would get a bad bounce and go fucking kicking off towards the crick. Oh, man.
Or we had a lot of basketball. We had like 3 or 4 we'd rotate through. You'd miss a shot and go in the trees. Well, fuck it.
We don't have trees.
No vegetation's ever grown high enough where a basketball can hide. They brag that up in the fucking tourism. Never lose a bowling ball again. Oh, we can bowl here? Oh, goodness, no. 275 miles in Billings.
You can see a fucking 3-wheeler coming from 80 miles away because all the dust, because it also doesn't rain.
Yeah. The kind of 3-wheeler shows up next week, and the guy's going to be in Elgin to show a picture of a banana. He's got a cassette where someone will describe what it tastes like.
The whole town's going to be there.
It's like candy, but it's not as sweet. Holy shit, listening to people describe food.
Oh, God. Show up next week for rutabaga. It's like a weird potato. Okay, thank you. We'll see you next week. This guy does a circuit.
Yeah.
We don't have things where I come from.
Fresh air. You got lots of that.
Whew. Yeah.
That really makes it adolescence easier.
Yeah, you can really get all the air you can breathe.
There's so few people. There's an excess of air. Oh, so the Simpsons.
Yeah, slip and slides.
So Homer's being a real butt about this, and Ned gets kind of angry about it. Reverend Lovejoy kind of takes him aside because he's at the Bible study too, and kind of gives him a, hey, I know you're mad, but why don't you're a good man, Ned, use that energy in steering Homer towards the light.
Yeah,
and
Ned wants him to save Homer.
Mm-hmm. And knowing Ned, he's a true believer, so he's like, you're right. Like, that's something I could do that would be like the best thing I could do is to take a man that far from the light of the Lord and move him in that direction.
Yeah.
And his goal, which is a pretty grand move, is to invite them to goddamn Jerusalem. And and what is Homer's reaction? Oh, great. Let's go to a desert that doesn't have casinos.
Insane.
Yeah.
Homer's sarcastic spiel right there is super funny.
Yep. He's, I think, wearing a piece of the yard as clothing at this moment.
Yeah, he just rips up a piece of sod and puts it around him like a grass skirt.
Yeah. And Marge overhears this, and she's all about it. Like, this is so generous of you, but I promise you we're going to pay our own way, which Homer's not excited about. And my first thinking is like, oh, goodness, do we have the Simpsons go to Israel?
Which is exactly what you have. I thought of you right away because I wrote in all caps, the Simpsons are going to Israel.
Jesus, they got 13 seasons left. What countries are they going to be visiting eventually? You know,
like how many other stereotypes haven't they touched yet is the thing.
They're going to have to get pretty esoteric. Like, what do we know about, like, Ecuadorian culture that they can have fun with?
I feel like they got a little esoteric early because we did Brazil forever ago. And outside of Carnival, I don't know fuck all about Brazil.
Jesus statue.
Yeah, yep. Christ the Redeemer. Outside of that, I got fucking nothing.
So they end up getting off the plane, and we get a very distinct, like, do you know who did the voice of the tour guide? Was it Sacha Baron Cohen?
I don't. I didn't look, but I will while you continue.
Because he has a very big part in this with a lot of speaking lines for somebody that's just a voice actor. So I just got a hunch that had to be somebody. And when they get off the airport, we see a sign that says, "Welcome to Israel, your American tax dollars at work," which that is a hot take from The Simpsons.
I thought that was pretty spicy.
Yeah,
it's a spicy joke.
Yeah, so good for them. I like The Simpsons with a little bit of teeth. So we get, like, what you could expect. We get a couple Wailing Wall scenes. And, God, there's a part where I think they must be getting the first introduction with the tour guide host, where if one of them says, somebody says shalom, and Marge turns to, I don't know if it's Reverend Lovejoy's wife, it's like, and she just excited goes, shalom is aloha for these people.
Yeah, this is the Israel's aloha.
Yeah, she's so excited about that.
Look at you, that is Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, I figured it had to be somebody. Homer, as you can imagine, is just an unappreciative boob during all this. He's completely dressed in USA gear. And what's a pretty good gag is he's far more excited about the hotel's omelet bar than he is about any cultural thing.
I like a good omelet bar, to be fair. I've only stayed at like a couple of places that have an omelet bar as part of the breakfast. Omelet bar, hell of a cool thing.
I'm always just bashful about the person running it never seems like they want to be there. But it's like, I got to get over that.
It's their job. No one wants to be at their job, ever.
It's just like, I could just go eat the other stuff, but...
What's in your perfect omelet if you can pick 3 ingredients?
God, I'm a basic bitch.
I believe that.
Oh, God.
Ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese and some kind of pepper. I'm trying to think, what veggie would go good with a ham and cheese omelet?
Any. Onion, green pepper.
Yeah.
Green pepper gets a little watery in an omelet. Same reason I don't care for it on pizza.
Mm-hmm. There's some other kind of pepper that I can't think of right now that would be the good.
I mean, a hot pepper, a chili pepper, a jalapeno.
How about like a bell pepper, or not a bell pepper, banana pepper maybe?
Banana pepper would be
that
fine
might sound kind of good. That maybe be my choice.
Mine is sausage, mushroom, and like a cheese, a hot cheese, a pepper jack cheese.
God, mushroom wouldn't be bad either.
Like when I order an omelet that has mushrooms in it at a place, you've seen me do this after an open mic. I want so fucking many mushrooms in that omelet that you, the cook, must be thinking, there's no way he wants this many mushrooms in there.
So many mushrooms, it's ruining the structural integrity of the omelet.
Exactly. I want so many mushrooms in there that it comes out as mushrooms with some scrambled egg.
It's like they have to stuff it in an old woman's nylons to keep it from falling apart.
I prefer to eat my food out of old women's nylons. So
here's that freak's pantyhose omelet. She just drops it in front of you and just goes, "You disgust me," and walks away.
I have to tip a lot when I get breakfast food.
And then we just get endless scenes of Ned trying to be a good host and Homer just farting all over everything.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to feel a little bit of sympathy for Ned because we are getting peak Homer being a shithead in this whole episode.
Yeah. I like, though, how he is painted as an American shithead,
Right?
you know?
Yeah. And it's more playful than like evil.
Yeah, he's not out to hurt anybody, but he is quintessential American tourist.
And I can't think of the name of it right now. They go to like some sacred church where like it's not supposed to be Jesus' tomb, or is it Jesus? Yeah.
It's meant to be Jesus. I don't know if it is, but whatever.
And he's explaining it to Homer about the reverence and everything, and he loses Homer and finds Homer sleeping on top of it. He is just dumbfounded, like, what? Why? He was like, well, these tours are so long. I eat too much. I got to take a nap. It's like, you were sleeping where the most important man in the history of the world was laid down. Homer's responsive Porky Pig.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Porky Pig?
How excitedly and Porky Pig. Like, it's like Porky Pig's not even a man. He's not even a pig. He's like, his breakdown of Porky Pig is so good. Ned is so this is what he doesn't. He basically he tells Homer, "You're not worth saving." Yeah. Because he's like, the reason I have such strong Christian faith is I believe everyone on this planet is worth saving.
Which Homer takes pretty hard.
Yeah. He's very shook by this, and he thinks that Ned just walks out in the desert, and he goes chasing after him, and we find out there's a little tea store. He comes out of that, he's like, hot water.
I love that he just got hot water and not tea.
Just smacking his lips how much he enjoys a good glass of hot water.
I like that tomb, the actual title of that tomb has the word sepulcher in it, which that's a good word. Yeah. I like seeing that.
Well, it's a very Old Testament-y type word.
Sepulcherous is a good adjective.
What's sepulcher even mean? How do you even...
Just cave or inlet or cavern or...
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, spelunking is caving, so those words seem kind of connected.
I don't know that you're on exactly the right path.
I'm sticking with it.
But I can see the logic.
I'm feeling confident. We're in episode 1.
If I could reach you, I'd pat your head like it is close, Nathan. Yeah.
Have another bison stick.
More buffalo for Nathan. Little buffalo boy.
I got little cartoon horns on with a rubber band. Tee.
People should eat more bison. It's delicious.
That's a tasty meat. So Homer is now lost in the desert, and he's dehydrated as one becomes in the desert. And he starts to lose his mind. He gets visited by some, what I assume are knockoff VeggieTales characters.
Yeah, after drinking from the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that, brother.
Water. Yep. And are you of the right age where VeggieTales part of your...
No, VeggieTales were for the next people.
Really?
After me. We never watched VeggieTales in Sunday school or anything like that.
But if you're 32, maybe that's the age?
Yeah, 30 to 32 maybe. I remember them... they rose to power the way you talk about Hitler. The VeggieTales rose to power when I was in high school.
Yep. And because I think they were a thing. If you're the right age and you grew up in a Christian household, you got yourself some VeggieTales.
Never saw them.
So Homer, the delusions are leading to him think he's some kind of Messiah type character.
Yeah.
And we find out that it's something referred to as Jerusalem syndrome.
Yeah. I don't know if that's real.
Yeah,
I didn't bother looking it up, but... I like the explanation that it's people come to Jerusalem and then they think they're the Messiah. Yeah. While watching this, I was like, yeah, I can see that being real. Totally.
Because Homer has now in his head that he has to save everyone.
Yeah.
And while he's doing this, fucking Mrs. Skinner bursts in front of him, and she's wearing a toga type outfit. And she's something that's quiver in terror at the shaking of my flabby arms. Yeah, because she now thinks she's a godlike character too. Yeah,
and so does Hibbert. There's an outbreak of it.
Everyone's sick with the Jerusalem syndrome, and then they're back on a plane. Then Ned and Homer, they eventually. Do they know? Do they patch things up really?
Not really. I mean, they're pals when they're on the plane, but like, and Ned thinks that he kind of saved Homer.
Yeah,
and,
well, that's what it
like,
is.
they're pals again.
Because, Homer kind of got shook. It turns out it might have just been desert sickness, but that was good enough for Ned to think he did some good. And so this
just wraps up with them heading home on the plane.
This is a good example where there were a few things that made me laugh. The Porky Pig thing, but like the story didn't do anything for me. That was a pretty boring story.
We also veer way off path for a few minutes to have like Bart and that one girl get in a fight for no reason. To make some Krav Maga jokes.
Endless groin hits.
Yeah.
And then when Lisa fights him, it's like, you can't kill someone that's already dead. She knees him in the balls. Like, guess I was wrong.
Oh, I was wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like how the Krav Maga was just endless knee strikes to the junk.
Yeah. I feel like a ton of this episode is devoted to the tour guide.
Yeah.
But none of it, I don't think, is very funny.
Yeah, maybe there's some like inside Jewish jokes that I wasn't getting that were hitting.
Yeah, maybe. I literally know one Jewish person. I'm 36.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
think a lot of them ended up in rural North Dakota.
I don't think so either.
I don't know how many. I can think of 5 off the top of my head. I just did some quick Jew math. Is that going to get me in trouble?
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
Hey, you replace Jew with German, or Norwegian.
They tried to replace the Jews with Germans, Nathan. There was a whole war about it.
How'd it turn out?
Not great for the Germans or the Jews.
It was kind of a lose-lose.
Nobody but America won in that.
Yeah, America came out pretty good.
And we haven't been worth a shit ever since.
Yeah. That was the last time we were the good guys.
Yeah. Fucking 40 years before you and I were alive.
Right. That's a good way to look at it. Like,
oh, God.
USA.
Yeah. Guten Tag to our German listeners,
Yeah.
of which we do have.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hey.
I hope we didn't lose him just now.
I am a quarter German. I got German blood coursing through a fourth of my body.
I'm a half. I'm 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. German and Norski.
Kind of like that Jay-Z, who's the guy that pissed on people?
R. Kelly.
Jay-Z, R. Kelly, like your face is half Norwegian, half German.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 become 1. As far as I know, I'm going to go on the record, I don't think Marlon pisses on people without their consent. So I'm going to squash any rumors before they happen.
And as far as I know, I'm going to let you think that.
Yep. I am going to say no comment and move to episode 17.
Which is called American History Excellent. I saw American History X for the first time when I was in college, and I was like, this movie is fucking boring, and I don't like it.
Oh, no shit.
I hated that movie when I first saw it. I came around like in my late 20s when I saw it again. I was like, okay, yeah, this is a good movie. This is a well-made movie, but like maybe I just wasn't ready for it at 18. I was just like, this is do you guys want to you want to play Double Dash? Like, you want to do literally anything else?
Oh, I like Double Dash.
You want to fire up some Soul Calibur? Like, let's do something
This
else.
came out when I was peak movie nerd. So I was
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
This is terrific.
Peak cinephile. This is art.
I think this guy, the director of American, is one of those cases where a guy comes out of the gates and makes a kick-ass, critically acclaimed movie.
Okay.
And I could be so talking on my ass right now, but I think he's one of those guys that never did much, if anything, afterwards.
Huh.
And he was fairly young. I think he's a British guy, and just, I don't know if he got into another line of work, but yeah.
Has Eddie Furlong done anything since?
Oh, my God.
I mean, he had to have. Detroit Rock City, or was that before this?
Right around the same time.
Detroit Rock City's a fun movie.
Fun movie, yep. That's the exact right adjective to describe the movie. Do you think I have literally not seen it since it was in the theater.
I saw it on VHS. I owned a copy on VHS for sure.
Think it holds up? Yeah.
I bet it does. I bet it's still dumb fun. Mm-hmm. Empty calories.
Yeah, yep. And was that movie have a hard R rating, or is that more teen
I think
PG-13?
It was an R for sure,
really?
but I don't know how hard of an R.
I was just trying to think, are there titties? I don't think.
There's a scene in a strip club, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were titties.
Some background titties.
Yeah.
Some shadowy breasts.
Like, if you have a scene in a strip club, you can crowbar titties in.
yeah.
Like,
So if you especially got an R
I'm convinced that's the only reason the fucking Sopranos had the bada bing in it was HBO is like, we got to have titties in here somehow. Can Tony's secret lair be at the titty bar, I guess?
You mentioned that HBO was all about that, and I'm not a big HBO guy. I recently watched the first 2 episodes of that Winning Time show based.
Oh, the Lakers show?
Yep.
Is it good?
First episode, titties.
Of
First
course,
scene,
yeah.
first episode. I was like, God damn it, Marlon's right.
HBO will
loves
crowbar titties into anything.
Yep. So far, I'm very intrigued by it. I've seen the first 2
I haven't watched
episodes.
HBO's new since they took over Sesame Street, but I imagine there's titties in it.
Just, at least early on.
I'm
S-
not
set the
looking to
tone.
see Big Bird's cans. I don't need it in my life.
Man, Maria.
Do you know human character names from Sesame
well, Gordon
Street?
just passed away.
No idea.
Really? Was it a big part of your childhood?
Yes.
Man. Oh, yeah. Like,
I don't remember a single human from that show.
really? Mostly it's Maria and Gordon because they were. And then Mr. Hooper is the guy that passed away. That was in the. That's a little before your time. Yeah, they had a character die, and they had
On the show?
They decided he's dead in real life. We're gonna make
You got to teach kids about death.
and them explaining to Big Bird how death works made a lot of children sob.
Oh, boy.
Well, he'll be coming back later, right? Like, no, Big Bird, he's gone. Well, why would he be gone forever? It's like, how many daycare operators were fearing? Why are you doing this?
Why do it to Big Bird? Fucking explain it to Snuffy. He's already so sad all the time.
No. Snuffleupagus at that point in the storyline was a figment.
Still a figment of Big Bird's imagination.
Yeah, that was a mid to late
Fuck.
80s things
Yeah.
when they brought him into the fold.
Explain it to Oscar then. Like
Yeah, well, Oscar's like, fuck death.
I'm eternal in my garbage.
And then Tully would kill himself because Tully was always.
I don't know who Tully is.
Tully was the.
Blanchard?
Tully Blanchard. Yes, he did the hot shot suplex.
Thumb
to
in the eye,
Grover,
yep.
yeah. You would recognize Tully. Tully was always kind of a sad sack. He's a little kind of. He wasn't skinny like Grover. He was a red or a pink color. I'm so goddamn colorblind.
Also, boy, try to explain
A Muppet?
A Muppet
It's hard.
out loud. I don't know. He's got eyes and fur.
Yeah. He ain't got that skin. He ain't got thick fur like Elmo. It's closer to his body. Like, this has been Muppet talk, or
This is horrifying radio.
Yeah.
Episode 17.
Oh my God, we're not even in.
American History. Excellent. Burns is in jail, and Burns is going to serve as the narrator for this episode.
Oh God, a Burns episode
Burns.
couldn't be so
Put it in
fucking.
my veins.
Did you notice in the opening when they they now have a character appear quickly in the clouds? We got that Evil Knievel character.
Oh yeah, we did. Didn't
Good
we?
for him.
I
God,
haven't
he's-
seen him in a long fucking time.
That's probably early Clinton era.
I was trying to pull his name, and I was like, Ernie Devlin. But no, that's the fake Evil Knievel from Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. That's Ernie Devlin. I forget who our fake stuntman is.
I can't even begin to guess.
So Burns is in jail, and he's the narrator. We flash back in time to several weeks ago where Burns is having a 4th of July picnic, not for the employees, but for himself. And all of his employees have to work at the 4th of July picnic. And they're all waiting on him hand and foot in some really obnoxious ways.
We're getting peak evil fucking Burns. Jesus Christ, he's awful.
Yeah, a real piece of shit at the picnic. Homer and Lenny and Carl finally have had enough, and they decide they're going to get drunk, and they sneak into Burns's wine cellar and get shithouse wasted in the wine cellar.
So drunk.
Oof. To the point where they're destroying the house.
They destroy a mansion.
That scene of, I think it's Homer who's wearing the suit of armor as they're destroying paintings in the study is so
And
good.
I think Carl is in like an old-timey deep dive
bell
with the big helmet.
Yep, like the BioShock outfit. And I love that you get a shot of like his perspective, so he can't hear or feel anything as Homer like hucks books at him, and they just harmlessly and silently bounce off his face.
Imagine being the person in like 1805 who they put in that goddamn suit and threw you off the edge of a boat. Like, well,
with just a hose hooked to the back of your helmet.
Because I'm sure how many people died before they figured out how the bends work.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to do it slow or their brains pop.
Oh, they explode.
I think I heard somewhere too that the bends is excruciating.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like getting a air bubble in your head is from what I think is what it is. Like,
it's like someone inflating a balloon inside your brain.
Oh, my God.
Fucking, it happened to Miguel Ferrer in Deep Star 6.
No shit.
Yep. That's my most culturally relevant reference to the bends is Miguel Ferrer in the 1993 film Deep Star 6.
Not the Radiohead album, but
Nope.
Deep Star 6.
So Burns sees them destroying the study and calls the cops. The cops show up and immediately I think it's Lou, is like, hey, that's such and such painting by so-and-so, and that was stolen fucking from a museum.
1990. He has all these awesome details up the top of his head.
Yeah, I like that Lou knows a ton about this fucking thing. So they arrest Burns. Burns is under arrest for owning a stolen painting, and they take him in. And Smithers is going to run the plant. Is going to be the whole thing. Like, you take care of the plant, and I'll figure out this jail thing. And we get a fun montage checking Burns into jail, doing the fucking holy shit when the cop is doing the Blues Brothers thing where he's itemizing everything in his pockets. And when he goes, and your social security card, and he's like, that's an SS card. And you look, and it's just the SS Nazi identification. Holy shit, Burns. Again, fought for America in World War I, apparently belonged to the SS less than 30 years later. Jesus. And then they fucking hose him down with that fire hose.
Hits him, and he just, no resistance, hits the wall.
Just slams into the wall.
Sad Burns' body.
And then the hardest I've laughed at this show in a long time, the very next scene when he's taken his mug shot and the camera flashes, and the flash from the camera slams him into the wall with the same amount of force that the fire hose just did. Holy shit. I legit like threw my head back laughing. When that flash bulb goes off and he slams into the wall, the idea that you are so feeble that the flash of a camera can throw you against a wall. I was dead. I was wrecked. I was like, well, I'm done here.
And is it just prior to these scenes where he's getting processed? Is that when they walk him through the city like a pariah and they throw things at him?
Yeah, and they throw tomatoes and shit at him.
When I think it's Mo is selling produce to throw, and it's Milhouse and Kirk, and he's like, "Dad, can I get a tomato?" And it's like, "Well, what do they cost?" It's $1 for fresh, $2 for rotten. Like, I want a rotten. And it's like, but son, there's no way you're gonna hit him.
Yep.
He just looks down at Milhouse's. He's just like, we'll take a rod. It's this wholesome moment. And then when Bart is about to throw shit from the front door, Marge hollers at him, "No, we don't throw fruit at people in this house." And big dumb Homer bursts through with that rotten jack-o'-lantern over his head. And this is just my lunch. When he finally starts eating it. It was so good. Like,
and loves it. Because she's like, well, if it's your lunch, then eat it. You
not
know?
air bites, real bites.
Yeah, not air bites. You're missing one key joke in that Van Houten scene, because once he finally he's, you don't need a rotten one, you're not gonna hit him anyway, which is already a great joke. And Milhouse is looking up at him with the puppy dog eyes, and Kirk Van Houten goes, "Oh, I guess it is your birthday." That's what they're doing for Milhouse's birthday.
That is good. You're right.
They're throwing rotten fruit at Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Holy shit. God damn it, that was funny. This is the first time we check in with a pretty minor, pretty slight B story in this episode, where Bart and Lisa are playing with an ant farm.
Oh, yeah.
Not a thing that I don't think I've ever seen an ant farm in the wild.
I don't have to ask the question then. Marlon, did you own an ant farm?
Nope, I sure didn't.
I remember seeing ant farms pop up in the occasional, like, fucking, I don't know what magazine or something as a kid. Like where you could buy one, but just...
I'm sure it popped up in comic book ads
probably.
or something.
Good
yeah.
call. Or like a kid's magazine you got from free from the school. Mm-hmm. But I always thought they kind of looked cool. I was always an ant boy. I was always drawn to ants. I would often sit in my grandma's porch and watch the ants work because she always had a bunch of ant in the cracks in the patio or the cement. And I'd maybe discuss some of the... I'd grab a grasshopper and break its hind leg and put it with the ants and see if it could fight the ants off.
Jesus Christ.
I should know what people meat tastes like. If you look at my childhood,
psychopath.
Or I would fill a plastic jug full of water and put like 5 ants in, and I'd flip it and watch them swim, flip it again, watch them swim, and as each ant died, whichever ant was still left, I'd take him out and put him back in.
You have a winner ant?
Yeah, so I was like committing eugenics with ants. I was building like a hyper breed of ants.
Boy.
Troublesome. Just quiet, just like, look at him loving those ants. Meanwhile, this is the most heinous things. Or I'd grab a handful of box elder bugs and put them with the ants. The ants would fuck them up. Box elder bugs, dumb as shit.
You're out here just trying to make ants stronger.
Yeah, right. I'm building, trying to make an apex predator ant.
To me, ant farm, just a thing on TV.
Yeah.
Like, if I had asked for an ant farm, my old man would have been like, "You're not getting a fucking bug farm. What's the matter with you?"
In the house.
Right.
Yeah.
So Bart and Lisa are playing with this ant farm, and at some point it breaks and the dog eats all the ants, except for one. There's one lone survivor ant. That would have been your ant, the alpha ant.
Yep.
We go back to the main story where Smithers is making the plant super awesome.
Yeah.
Like, he gives people what they want. Happy workers are good workers.
There's a line where he goes, "We're going to introduce a medical plan that covers illness." It's just so good. Oh.
And then immediately these fucking idiots take advantage of him.
The worst.
Yeah, they're at the bar.
People.
Homer, Carl, and Lenny and Smithers at the bar. And Homer's like, my kid has a thing tomorrow. I need the day off. And Carl is like, I need it off too. And Smithers like goes to take a phone call or something. He steps away for a minute. And when he comes back, he overhears them being like, that fucking idiot. My kid doesn't have a thing. We're just going to run roughshod over this motherfucker. And then that is not the case because Smithers turns full Burns.
Got a little tyrant in him.
Yeah. We get back to prison where Burns is, and he meets a beefy inmate who I think is supposed to kind of be Michael Clark Duncan in the Green Mile. I've never seen the Green Mile, but that archetype anyway.
Yeah, you're totally right. Except he, like Michael Clark Duncan's character in the Green Mile is really soft spoken and kind of shy, whereas this guy's not. He's very aggressive.
True. Yeah.
But the whole stealing the poison out of him is straight from.
Oh, is it?
Yep. That is a scene from that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a good movie?
I've only seen. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
There's a couple. Some of the side characters do some great acting in it. Like because there's other prisoners on death row, like those, and then one of the kind of like sniveling. There's like this sniveling other guard who's a piece of shit. Is that actor pops up in random shit every once in a while? He's a terrific actor, but never ever gets like a starring role in anything.
Okay, yeah, it's one that I've always like. Oh, I should watch that sometime and just never have.
But it's not one of those movies that grabs your attention. So it's like, I can see why it's a movie you've never seen.
It's never been a priority. Yep. Yeah.
And nor should it be, but it's better than most.
Okay.
Yep. Tom Hanks is a good casting in it.
Turns out Tom Hanks is good at acting.
Word is out.
Word is out. Has he had any flops since his youth? Like maybe The Lady Killers, I don't think was a huge success.
Wasn't a big money maker, but yeah, I think in the last 10 years, he was in that weird-ass Cloud Atlas movie. Is that what that was called?
Yes, and I think that might have been a financial flop, but I know people who will go to war over that movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I knew it didn't make money. And that movie has a weird backstory, how it was funded by someone not in the movie business, like a super rich heiress loved that book and like legit wrote like a $60 million check. Like, we're making this fucking movie.
That's cool.
Yep. I love, like, there's worse things for evil billionaires to spend their billions on.
Yep.
Well, I know you've seen this pop up before, that the production house called A24.
Yep.
That is like a DuPont daughter who's like, I like good movies. I want to fund good movies.
DuPont is such an evil, bad company.
Yeah. And I am just guessing. It's just one of those giant... We make plastic or pesticide.
This is America, so big company means bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but
yeah.
A24 movies are either great or pretentious horseshit.
Yeah.
Like, and no in between.
Yeah, but they're batting average. I usually feel comfortable if I see that on the screen.
Likewise, I think they have more hits than misses, for sure. For me, anyway.
Yep.
But not all of them.
Yeah.
For every midsummer, there's a couple duds in there.
You get a little something Victorian era.
Or something that's just not for me.
Yeah. Oh, who shall I marry of all these gentlemen suitors?
Yeah, you love European aristocratic.
Burn them all.
So this beefy inmate is going to turn Burns to Christ. He sucks the evil out of Mr. Burns. And now Mr. Burns is part of the church choir, the prison church choir. He's a new man.
And I think it's during the time when he's trying to sell him on Jesus. At one time, Burns goes, "I've died and come back. It's overrated."
Yeah.
Because of course that fucking human skeleton's died a few times.
Meanwhile, the guys are going to break Burns out, they decide, because Smithers is such a tyrant that we're better off with Burns. So they're going to bust him out. And then we go back to where the episode started, with the guards coming into Burns' cell, and the guards are the guys. It's Lenny, Carl, and Homer dressed up as guards. Meanwhile, back in the B story, Lisa and Bart are like taking care of this one ant, and they kind of come together of like, let's release the ant out into the wild, which what a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And they do, and the dog immediately eats it.
I did like the idea of the dog coming back for the final ant.
They have like this sweet moment of them like working together and doing a good thing, and then immediately the dog just erases it.
I am pretty sure if you release an ant into your yard, if it's not part of a hive, it's just gonna die.
Probably gonna die.
Yeah, like it wouldn't know where to go. It would just scramble in circles until it died, because an ant goes by the pheromones of the ant
in front of it. Yeah.
They just follow it. It's a hive mind. Without it, they're nothing.
I watched a thing like, I saw a video recently, I think it just came up on Instagram or something, a video of an ant death circle.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that fucking video? Where sometimes they they get, because they do just follow the ant in front of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes things get crossed up in a way, their signals get all fucked up to where, this is just ants marching in a circle until they die.
Imagine just wandering into that in the woods.
That is fucking metal.
Yeah, right?
That is
It's just moshing to death. It's just circle pit this bitch and just keep going until everyone's
future
dead.
Slayer wants for all of us. Like, yeah, I saw that video come across my Instagram, and I was like, "Fuck
this is something else."
So Burns gets out of prison, and he's more evil than ever now. I forget precisely how he gets out of prison. We kind of just wrap it up here at the end. Like the guys are in there to bust him out, but they kind of don't have to, because he just gets out.
Yep.
Because he's rich.
Yep. And this is an example of throwback to when some episodes had so many good little gags that you don't write them all down, or that would get too monotonous. Mm-hmm. But the whole story of the fucking warden being hooked on helium was so good.
I love that that's his like blue velvet drug of choice is helium.
Can't help you right now, I'm flying high.
And he's literally floating like a balloon.
So good.
That was fun. Also, that's totally drawn to be the warden from Shawshank Redemption.
Absolutely, it is.
And there's that Shawshank Redemption reference in the cell where the Michael Clark Duncan character
Rita Hayworth
is,
posters hanging
when
up.
he's preaching and that poster's hanging up. Yeah, it feels like someone just really likes Shawshank and Green Mile, so they wrote this episode.
There's other prison movies they could have taken tropes from too, but they didn't.
Longest Yard, Stir
Midnight
Crazy.
Express.
I just have comedies in my bench.
Midnight Express is the one where like that college kid gets arrested and put because he has drugs on him. Goes like an insane Turkish prison.
Oof.
Like, have you ever seen Cable Guy with Jim Carrey?
Ages ago,
where he goes to visit the guy he's tormenting in prison, and he pulls his shirt up and presses his tit against the glass.
Yep, I've seen that.
That's from Midnight Express.
Okay. Cable Guy, a movie that is like looked upon very well in retrospect.
And originally it wasn't. It was thought it was the first blemish on Jim Carrey's start of his career.
Yeah.
And then it's time has shown favorably upon it.
I should watch it again.
I've never seen.
Oh.
Yeah, never seen it.
We should watch it.
Oh.
Right now. Fuck this podcast. Go watch The Cable Guy.
Smell you jerks later. We got to watch a 26-year-old Jim Carrey movie.
Outside of Ferris Bueller, I don't like Matthew Broderick.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Election?
I've never seen
Election.
Election.
That's a treat for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, man. I envy you. I like that movie that much. It's a light, quick movie. You knock it out quick.
Okay.
You know?
All right. I'll give it a watch. But yeah, that's kind of that episode. Good to have a Burns one.
Very good.
God damn it when that camera flash slams him against the wall. Fucking A. Might have been my favorite moment of this whole week.
So many good gigs. Again, don't go so long between Burns episodes.
What have we learned?
Yep.
Put Burns in more shit.
Please. We're up to episode 18, Chief of Hearts. I liked this episode.
Yeah, me too.
I liked this a lot. Episodes. This might be a case of where, there are laughs, but I really like the storyline. I like a Clancy-centric.
Which I feel like we've never gotten. I feel like we've never had a Wiggum episode.
I was thinking.
Or if we have, it was forever ago. Yeah.
But you're right, though. This could be the most Wiggum we've ever gotten. There's the only one I get early on when Bart has to be Ralphie's friend, and he uses it to his advantage to get, but that's not nearly as much.
They get the riot gear and shit. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. So episode starts with Marge and the kids going to a birthday party for Bart's friend, but Bart's like, I don't even know this kid.
Dylan.
It's from his preschool tots program or something and this made me think of this for someone like you, the idea of living in a town and there's a boy your age that you don't know exists.
Baffling.
It's so wild.
Not a fucking chance.
So Botno is big enough a kid could move there, and if they weren't in your class, it'd maybe take you several months to know. It's like, oh wait, that kid, he's our age? Oh no shit. What's their story? Who's this interloper?
I think I can think of 3 kids from K through 12 who moved to town.
Yeah.
No one moves to where I come from.
What's your family running from?
Yeah, exactly. What did your dad do in a city? Yeah. You're definitely in witness protection.
Yeah. You had to get somewhere where we don't have street addresses. It's Rural Route 4, Box 77.
Yeah. We lived on a rural route.
Yeah, so did we until 911 fucked everything up.
Yeah. Now we're on fucking 845th Street or what the fuck ever.
So they're going to a birthday party. Bart is not enthused. And they're just at a party, and again, just the kids everywhere. We get some gags. There's cupcakes. Bart tries one. He's like, ooh, carrot cake. I am baffled that there are people that don't like carrot cake.
I have written right here, Nathan, carrot cake, ?
Oh, love it.
I adore carrot cake.
I would take carrot cake over almost any other cake.
I can't follow you down that road, but it's top 5.
Yeah, carrot cake is so goddamn good.
Like chocolate cake, devil's food, angel food, but I'll put a carrot cake over like a fucking regular funfetti cake or an angel food probably.
Yeah. Every once in a while, a slice of angel food cake with some strawberries on it's pretty damn tasty. But yeah,
it feels so basic. Like it's good, but it's pretty basic. I'll take a devil's food over that. Devils over angels any day, baby.
But I don't know, man. Carrot cake is real high on the list for me.
Carrot cake's great, especially with some cream cheese frosting.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's what makes it is
God.
that goddamn cream cheese frosting.
Damn it!
So this has been Cake Talk.
Carrots.
Carrot talk as well.
I like carrot cake way more than I like carrots.
Yeah, and I'll fuck a carrot up. I enjoy carrot.
I'm not a carrot guy.
A carrot boy? How
it's fine.
Like cooked? I loved cooked carrots.
I hate cooked carrots, but I will tolerate a cold carrot.
Yeah. I am coming out real pro carrot on all of this.
Yeah, I like
sponsors. If you're listening, can we get the carrot board on our side?
Yeah, name me one carrot brand, Nathan.
Good question. I'm sure there is a label. If you buy a bag of mini carrots, I'm sure.
I think Crystal Farms. I can see the logo in my head. The bag of carrots.
Yep, that sounds right.
I don't know how hot a take it is, but if I am feeling carrots and want carrots, I buy full-size carrots and cut them. I don't want a fucking baby carrot.
I'll fuck a baby carrot.
There's something about a baby carrot that I'm not into.
I think you're onto something that I do enjoy, a freshly cut carrot slice. Mm-hmm. Like divvied up carrots, but I'll still fuck up a baby carrot.
When I buy and eat carrots, I eat carrots the way Bugs Bunny eats carrots. Like I just a fucking big old carrot.
Yep.
Like
I could, as a kid, I could pull a carrot out of the ground, slap it against your pant leg, and just start eating it.
Oh yeah, eat carrots out of mom's garden all the time.
I remember my mom. She was driving somewhere, and she saw me and my cousin and one of the bad kids in the trailer park just casually sitting in the neighbor's garden, eating all the peas and the pods and the carrots.
Oh boy!
And she came up to talk to me, like hey, get in our yard. It's like, what were you doing? I'm like, oh, just eating the vegetables that they have. And it's just like, well, why were you doing that? It's like, oh, they're just ground vegetables. She didn't I was so little, I didn't understand the concept. Like,
you didn't understand the ownership.
Yeah, right? It's like, no, it's not in their house, Mom. It's in the yard. We can all eat yard stuff. Like, give it to my mom. Like, she could have punched me. That's like you dumb shit.
You idiot. It's still theirs when it's in their yard.
And I remember asking her, but she's like, well, to your credit, once I explained it to you, you no longer just laid in someone's yard and ate their garden. Just having a full tummy from eating too many peas in the pod.
Got a pound and a half of cucumbers in me.
Oh no. I can't ride bike now.
I like that your brain thought if it's outside, it's legal.
Yeah. How did you come home and see that? You're just like, what are you? It's like, and you're just looking up. There's these three dirty kids looking up at you, just vegetable scraps everywhere. Just looking. Do you want some? Come enjoy the harvest.
To be fair, as far as your guys' hijinks are concerned, that's a pretty wholesome one. That's like a Tom Sawyer hijink.
Right? Yeah.
That's a pretty wholesome hijink.
Yeah. No one was started on fire.
Yeah.
No.
He didn't throw snakes at anybody.
Yeah, there was no snakes involved. No liquefied grasshoppers. Yeah. That is very true. The vegetables were the only victims
Just some poverty boys having carrots.
I know. It was the bad kid that introduced. Oh no, there's gardens in every yard. Like, really? Let's indulge.
Oh, you as an adult raiding people's vegetable gardens here in town.
Sitting on my butt in just like cut off sweatpants, like a just bright orange T-shirt with a too small blue baseball cap, like all primary colors, covered in fucking topsoil, just chomping on a big turnip,
just calmly shucking peas out of the pod.
Yeah, like humming a fun little. That looks good.
This is the vegetable song. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
It's happening again.
They got the vitamins, and I need the vitamins. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Gonna be a strong boy. Flexing my muscles.
He's 42.
Yeah. Turn the hose on him. Hank. He's back.
Before he gets to the beats.
It's too late in the summer. We can't grow more.
You got into the beach. Your lips are all purple.
Always eat too many. Got a sore tongue.
When I was a kid, I had some kids over for a sleepover once during the county fair. A couple of buddies, and they were town kids, and we were staying outside down in the yard. I had a little cabin built, and it was right next to the vegetable garden, and they got into eating raw sweet corn, and I knew that that's not how you do that.
Yeah.
So I don't think I partook, or at least like tried it and was like, I don't want that. Yeah. And those boys ate so many cobs of fucking raw sweet corn out of Ma's vegetable garden. They were sicker than shit the next day. I don't think you're supposed to eat raw sweet corn.
That doesn't sound good at all.
But we were all fucking 13 years old. None of us knew any better.
That's old enough. They should know better.
Well, they were town kids.
Yeah,
I knew better.
Yeah,
I was a farm kid.
That's town kid acting there.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you could just pluck anything off the ground and eat it, man.
Yeah. No. Your fucking nuts have dropped at 13. You should know better. No one gave those boys the beets and the corn talk. I don't want you learning this on the streets.
Yeah, if you don't talk to your kids about beets and corn, who will?
A public service announcement from the North Dakota Produce Association.
God, we need those sponsorships. I still haven't heard from Long John Silver's. Bunch of cucks.
Yep, it's cruel. We're out here doing the Lord's
them hush
work.
Puppies.
Yep.
Speaking of corn.
God, I would right now murder a homeless person for hush puppies. That sounds so good. I'm so full of beef, I need some fucking starch next to it. Bison. I'm full of hoofed animal meat.
I'm full of cloven goodness.
So Bart is at this birthday party. He notices these kids playing a Japanese game called Battle Ball, where they lay a card down and then like a ball is rolled out and like it turns in almost like a transformer. Do you have any idea what game they're aping with this?
Not really. I don't know any like collectible card game that also had like a physical toy to go with it. I'm sure one exists, but they kind of just look like fucking erector set little animals.
Yeah. I'm sure a little bit of Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it's called.
Yeah, this seems to be kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different things like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Digimon and, you know. Like I've played some collectible card games in my time, but never one that came with a physical thing.
Yeah. So I was wondering, am I missing something here? But it was probably something before both of our times.
Yeah. Or after our times, more likely.
Pardon me, after, yeah. And Chalmer and Skinner, they assume that this is a drug talk because Bart really leans into this. He's into it, like, because it kind of seems cool if you're.
And
a
at first
kid.
He's like, "You fucking nerds, what are you doing?" But as soon as he sees it, he's immediately hooked.
The bug, he gets the bug, which happens when you're a kid. When you find something you like, you just lean into it.
I got into all my collectible card games in my adulthood, and it gets a hold of you then too. I'm going to spend how much money on these blind boxes? Oh, God.
That's worth it, I guess.
Oh,
no. So Chalmer and Skinner call Marge into the office to let they just like, your son is dealing drugs. It's like, no, possibly, or maybe. It's like, this is what's happening.
Yep.
And Marge's response is, dealing drugs? That's impossible. He doesn't have the math skills.
Which is so funny because... being a drug dealer takes some pretty decent math skills.
Which is the fact that she'd already because I'm sure she's had that thought in her head because her son's well, at least we don't have to worry about him being a drug dealer. He ain't got the brains for it.
Yeah.
That was a really good gag. But then she's at home and she hears it's Bart and Milhouse and some other friend, I believe, and overhears them talking. It's like, man, this is the good stuff here. Yeah, it is. It's imported.
Yeah.
There's a few other lines that could lean either way.
She even stops halfway and is like, I better keep listening to get more information out of context. She says out loud to herself.
Again, good episode.
Yeah.
So now she's totally convinced. She eventually raids Bart's room and Bart walks in. He's like, what are you doing? And then that's when she lets him know, hey, you let me know. Tell me what you're doing. Are you into drugs? And he is like dumbfounded, like, what? No, because he's also fucking 10.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like, what? I'm into this, the battle bots. Or battle balls, and she's like, "What?" And then like he shows her to it, and like, oh, the little, it's like a snowman robot. It shoots out carrots out of the nose, and she's all, well, I think this is pretty nifty.
Yeah,
and she's all like, this is going on the Christmas tree for sure. And then Bart is immediately, nope. If mom likes it, it's dumb. He just goes in the bathroom and flushes them down the toilet like a backpack full of toys, and then he's like, come on, if you can handle Homer, you can handle this.
As he's just dumping cards and toys down the toilet.
It's like overflowing, and he's trying to flush it all down. That was a very good gag. And then what is the other? This technically, I don't even know if there is an A story. This might be the A story. Because it is definitely the A story. The Bart story is the smaller of the two. Don't know why I led with it. But Homer is walking into the bank while he's enjoying a caramel apple during his... What the fuck is the last time you ate a caramel apple?
I couldn't tell you. Yeah. I have written here, Nathan, when's the last time you had a caramel apple? You and I spend too much time together.
Yeah, right.
Also, fuck a caramel apple. Like, it's so much work. It's so messy. Apples are already too hard to eat. And then you're going to cover it in caramel and put it on a stick. The barrier for entry for a caramel apple is too high. I'm not into it.
I'm a fucking mark for caramel, so I might enjoy it. But yeah, it has literally been so long, I don't remember if I enjoy it.
Also, an apple is so sweet. You don't need to gild the lily.
Yeah.
Like, caramel on an apple is a hat on a hat. Like, it's too much. You don't need it.
I'm trying to think what else gets put on apple. As like, because that's not a...
I've had apple with peanut butter. It's probably the only other thing.
I enjoy that. Or peanut butter on celery stick. That's a thing I used to have as a kid.
I also don't like that. Like,
I
I like straight celery, straight apples. I don't... Here's the problem with putting peanut butter on celery. Is that as soon as you bite into it, that celery is 99% water. And now you know what you have? A mouthful of watery peanut butter.
Yep.
Watery is the bottom of the barrel as far as adjectives I want in front of peanut butter.
I remember enjoying it as a kid. It's been a hot minute. What is it called? Some kids would get the treat where it's celery, peanut butter, and raisins. Was it ants on a log? Yeah. I don't need, and I do enjoy ants. Jesus Christ, I do enjoy ants. We've discussed not as a food, but I do enjoy raisins. But that's a combo I don't need.
I like all three of those things
separately,
but equal. I want raisins or peanut butter or celery. I don't want them together. But I think that's a trick to get kids to eat vegetables. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what I think. Yep. That's where I think that comes from. Boy, when's the last time you just had some raisins?
Yeah. Oh man, I like it too.
Raisins are good.
Just a little box a minute, or with the maid, the red with the yellow sun. Sun made. Is it maybe sun made?
Maybe sun made. Something made. Yep. Yeah.
Just a little box of raisins. That's a nice treat. Yep.
It's nature's candy.
Yeah. Another food what I was thinking of, like, a thing I haven't had since I was a little kid. It's the last time you had a goddamn popcorn ball. That's another
every
food.
Year.
Really?
My mom makes popcorn balls every Halloween.
You get it from like a thing like that, you know?
Yep.
Like
I have popcorn balls the same way I have peanut brittle. Someone in my life makes it once a year for a holiday.
Holy shit!
And I can't get enough of it.
I think every once in a while my mom will fuck around and make some peanut brittle.
I fucking love peanut brittle.
That's a candy. It took me a long time because I think when I was a real little kid, the getting it stuck to the back of your teeth when you're that little, it's like, nope, no more.
Oh, it's so good.
Yep.
Like, and as an adult, what you do is you eat peanut brittle for breakfast, like a grown ass man, and then you drink coffee, and the hot coffee melts all the toffee out of your teeth. Oh my God.
That might be the most important thing said on this podcast to date.
That
is going to change the way I look at peanut butter. That makes so much sense, though. Melt it off.
I would drown a cousin to have peanut brittle.
I have taken a pen apart, used the stick in the pen to pry at the back of my teeth.
Use heat.
Yep.
Yeah, same with popcorn balls, because popcorn ball will gum up your fucking works.
I don't think I had adult teeth the last time I ate a popcorn ball.
Oh, you're fucking up, man.
They're delish.
Popcorn balls are amazing.
But that was something a teacher made out of the goodness of their heart and brought to school, and we clapped.
Oh,
Yay.
really? That's been a my mom thing, is
Mrs.
popcorn balls.
Dunderland,
Yeah. Like I used to have a line on peanut butter because my buddy's wife loved peanut butter and would make it every Christmas, and no one in her life liked peanut brittle.
Oh, no shit.
And then
it's an acquired taste. I get it, but
and then she found out I liked peanut brittle, and then I was getting 3 to 5 pounds of peanut brittle every Christmas. And then you know what happened? They fucking got divorced, and I haven't had peanut brittle since. I was like, you divorced that lady who I didn't like, but she made good peanut brittle. Come on.
you're just opening up your pantry. There's 7 pillowcases full of peanut brittle. It's like, oh, reserves are running low.
Oh no, it's gonna be a long summer.
Gonna ration myself to only half a pound a day.
I need some more coffee. I'm gonna lose these teeth.
Holy fuck! I probably got too many crowns to be fucking with peanut brittle nowadays.
Oh, I got 0 crowns.
you can.
So
Oh man,
I
you
can
live
fuck
in the
up
dream.
peanut brittle all day.
You're eating milk duds without a care in the world.
Oh yeah, that's me. Give me that chewy shit. How did we get here? Caramel apples.
Caramel apples, how we
That's
got to. So he walks in, his mouth's all gunned up with caramel. He put a goddamn caramel apple in his coat pocket, which you can imagine what that would lead to. So now his hand is stuck in his pocket because he's trying to fight that caramel apple out. They assume he's robbing the place because he can't talk. They all drop down, and eventually one of the security guards tases him, and he still can't talk. It's like, oh, he gets the caramel apple out. Oh, it's not a gun. And it's like you should tase him one more time deep in the meat, and they just shove it into his torso and blast him again. And
God, I bet getting tased is a motherfucker.
Yep, that does not. Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
I would do it. Like I'd stand there and take one.
Yeah,
just to know.
I mean, as long as like they told me my heart could handle it. Like, you're not gonna die, go right ahead. Yeah, because I'm guessing once you got a fucking maybe a couple hours that are kind of shitty, but you're probably not laid up for a day.
I bet you can shake it off within a few minutes.
Think so? Yeah.
I bet you're fine. You've shit your pants for way less.
Yeah. Just for fun, just to get attention,
just to see if someone will give me a popcorn ball.
I pooped. What? Get off the bus, sir.
I made a boom boom. Can I have a popcorn ball? Sir, this is a sporting goods store.
This is a Bass Pro Shops. I don't even have free popcorn, let alone popcorn balls. I fucked up. You sure did.
You can't be the only person who's ever shit their pants in a Bass Pro Shop, though.
And while walking out, I stop in the entry and start filling out the form for a drawing. They holler at me. No, you do not qualify.
I want to win that boat.
Yeah.
No,
you do not get to meet Orlando Wilson or go fishing with him. You go back to wherever you came from and think about what you did. Man, Orlando Wilson's a deep cut.
Yep, it really is.
Going fishing with Orlando Wilson.
Holy shit. Oh, my God.
So Homer gets charged with some kind of disorderly conduct or disturbing the peace from the Malcolm in the Middle mom judge.
Yep. I like that she has stuck around this whole time.
Gets to come, and it was her. The distinct voice.
Yep.
It was her.
Yep.
And he gets sent 1,000 hours.
100 hours.
100 hours of community service, and there's a great scene. They all meet up together. And it's the collection of people doing community service. It's Kent Brockman, who is so matter of fact, this ain't his first time getting community service.
Yep.
It's Krusty and his monkey, Kearney, the teen bully, and the goddamn one-armed gun dealer.
Yep, the guy who runs the Army surplus store.
Yeah, he doesn't pop up very often, that is
I've
for
had the
sure.
same thought. I was like, man, we haven't seen him in a long time.
So that's where they're sitting at. And like before Marge had packed him a lunch with all these different salmon, all these different parm.
All these different parms.
You got chicken
my wife
parm.
can parm anything.
Yeah, chicken parm, eggplant parm. Yeah, my wife, and then Clancy's like, my wife only parms on my birthday.
And only if I give her the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, his puppy parm eyes.
I wrote this here. Eggplant parm is ubiquitous. It seems like kind of a default Italian food if someone's going to throw one out. I've heard the phrase eggplant parmesan a million times in my life. I've never once eaten anything with eggplant in it.
God, I have.
Are you an eggplant boy? Is it good?
I remember just thinking it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard it's like a stiff zucchini.
Yep, that'd be the perfect way to describe it. Yep.
Maybe I should try an eggplant.
There you go. You only live once.
36, and these are the things I'm wrestling with. Maybe I'll try an eggplant.
How Marlon got his parm back.
Holy.
It's just you out there, like, living your life like, no, chicken Alfredo. I'm having eggplant parmesan.
I should buy an eggplant and butcher it and see what I can do with it.
Yeah. Let us know how that works.
Yeah.
Parming it up with Marlon.
Stick it all the way up my ass. Yeah.
God, I'm trying to think of my eggplant marlejam.
Oh boy,
I couldn't make it
really
work.
reaching. I was rooting for you.
You were looking at me.
I watched the gears turn.
Like beautiful mind, Russell Crowe trying to make eggplant marlejam.
Eggplant marlejam, not bad. Like, I'll give you that. Yeah. But it did take you some. You got your steps in to get there.
Lie down. So Homer, which in an un-Homer-like thing to do, offers Wiggum one of his mini parm sandwiches. So because of this, he gets a cake. Basically, he gets to sit with Wiggum. Like, one of them has to go, was it clean the condoms out of some prickly bush?
Yeah.
And one of them has to separate the bums by what war they fought in.
Which is a great fucking bit of commentary.
Yeah. And he's like, and Homer, you get to sit with me. So they hit it off pretty quick. It is really cute how happy Wiggum is to have a new friend.
I like this side of Wiggum.
I like the other deputies kind of bust his chops in a playful way.
Yeah.
Like, is he looking at me? Oh, don't look
now. Yeah. He's so like giddy about having a new friend.
And in one of his, they're just hanging out in the squad car, and there's a robbery in progress. And they arrest. It's one of the mafia guys doing it. They got him against the wall, and Homer's, ooh, can I cuff him? And it's like, oh, why not? And then I think it's Lou's like, but Chief, he's not trained to do this. And it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And he promptly gets away. He pulls the gun and takes Homer hostage and shoots fucking, Wiggum in the goddamn heart.
Yeah, just fucking plugs him one.
Should have been dead.
I think that's Johnny Tightlips.
Yep.
If I'm remembering Tony's Thugs properly, I don't think that's Legs. I think that's Johnny Tightlips.
Yep, I'm almost positive you're right there.
Just fucking plugs him.
Yeah. And he's like, that's why we wear the bulletproof vests. And you see the bulletproof vest in the car in a dry cleaning bag.
Yeah, in a dry cleaning bag hanging in the car.
So he is laid up for, I think it's implied, days, if not weeks.
Yep.
And Homer, as a good friend, doesn't leave his side. They're watching TV, playing card games, this and that. And he finally does wake up. And I do like Lou is like, it's like, well, good to see one of my friends' kids. Like, I've been sleeping on the couch in front of the door the whole time.
He's all disheveled.
Yeah.
Like, Chief, I've been here the whole time. And Wiggum says, yeah, well, Lou, you missed the wake up, and that's what matters.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Fuck you.
And Homer's like, this is so great, but he's like, can I go see my family? It's been a while. And then he's like, well, I guess if you want to see your family, and really lays on the guilt trip. And then that's where we get to just see Wiggum is too needy. It never wants to end.
Wiggum is so shitty in the back half of this episode. Yep. He sucks.
Yep. He's not a good friend at all. And then eventually Homer just kind of has to escape it. And I think he goes to, is it the bar?
Yeah,
and that's
goes
where,
to Moe's.
And just to vent. Kind of I can't get away from this guy. Like, all he ever wants to do is just fucking hassle me about everything. And that's when the cops show in and he's like, oh, like, guys, boys, arrest him. It's like, he's not doing anything illegal, you know? Like, and when he has a temper tantrum walking out there, he's just shooting the gun as he's leaving is such a good visual. Like, so we got a real sad Wiggum. And now it's Homer's life is back as it was, but he's at home watching TV, and everything reminds him of Wiggum.
Yeah,
it's just these pigs eating in a trough.
That was a great bit.
Yeah. Oh my God! Another good fucking thing is when he reveals that he has to have his underwear made by a village in the Ukraine.
Yeah,
what do they call him again?
Papa Round or Daddy Round. Yeah. Holy shit.
They send me a Christmas card every year. It's like 11 Ukrainian villagers in one pair of tighty whities. They're all waving in the picture. Yeah. Daddy Round.
Props to Ukraine. I popped a bit like, oh, Ukraine.
Yeah.
How topical.
Oh my God, yeah. And then they also sent him a get well soon card.
Yeah.
After he got shot.
Daddy Round is amazing.
There's a adult film name for someone. And then it ends. Oh, then the police, the deputies show up at the Simpson house. They're like, hey, we haven't seen Chief Wiggum in a while. Well, do you know where he is? He's like, no. But let me think. I think I know where he is. Okay, let's go. He's like, no, I got to do this alone. They're like, okay. He leans over to Marge. The car's full of stolen printer paper. That's a good gag. And then the car is like level with packages of printer paper.
Yep, those fucking reams, those heavy ass reams of printer paper.
And he goes to what must be like Lookout Point.
Yeah, it's like Makeout Point, where
desolate edge of a mountain
where he and Wiggum had hung out before.
Yeah, so they go out there, and he kind of talks to him. Of course, Wiggum is just being a pouty bitch, and he's like, "Hey, you should come back. The town needs you." And during this, they just happen to see the mobsters are running like a counterfeit Lacoste polo shirt operation. I was like, hurry up, keep sewing on those counterfeit alligators or whatever it is, or crocodiles.
We got to have these back to the mall in the morning for the 48-hour sale or whatever. Fuck it. I never once owned a Lacoste.
I don't think
polo.
so. And I mean, they have been around since that's like a 70s and 80s thing too. Yeah.
Never owned something with a gator on it.
I remember being a little kid and having a polo type shirt that had like a cheetah or like a big cat on it. So I'm sure some knockoff thing.
There's some
like
off-brand.
Some other Predator. That was the Kmart.
Predator Polo. Yeah. That was the brand.
So they try to put a stop to it. They're immediately apprehended by the mobsters, and they're stuck in the trunk. And they pretty much know they're taking them out into the rural area to whack them, which they were already in the rural area. But
could have shot him there.
Who am I to tell Big Tony how to run a mob organization?
Yeah, Fat Tony, show some respect.
There we go. That is. Oh my God, I'm gonna get whacked tonight.
Lucky dog.
Yeah, right. He does it so gently. Hands are so big yet so soft.
Oh, they're so soft.
So they're now in the trunk of the mobster's car, and they and they kind of reconcile in the trunk. It's like, we're gonna get whacked. I'm glad it's with you, my best friend. And they're like, oh, okay, so they have a moment. And he's like, we're not getting. And Homer's like, we're not gonna get whacked. You're the best cop there is. You're gonna figure a way out of this. And that gives. He's like, you know what? You're right. And I don't even know what they're listening to, but Wiggum, with a tongue that won't quit, is able to push eject on the 6-disc changer in the trunk, which that's a fucking insane call out to something that nobody owned in the year 2010 when this episode came up. But there was a time you were a level of sophistication and you had money. You were a man of means.
I had a 6-disc changer in high school. Would have been 03.
Yeah.
02.
Yeah. If you had it at 95, that meant you came from...
You were a fucking baller.
Right, yeah. That was a lot of money.
If you still had one in 2010, you were poor.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you need a new car.
Yeah, what are you doing?
My car has a 6-disc in-dash. That means my car's fucking 14 years old.
A 6-disc in-dash?
In-dash, yeah.
Holy shit.
That was something that could have got you a hand job in 1995.
Might get you one today. Yeah, I'm impressed.
I mean, by the right age woman. Yeah.
How does it kick? It certainly doesn't spit out a platter like a fucking home theater system.
You just select what disc you want to eject, but there is an eject all option, and they just zip. zip.
Okay,
zip.
just one by one.
And there's just barf out 6 that land in the back seat.
In my head, it all comes out like the way the changers that were in a home theater system used to, where it kicks out the whole wide platter that then spins and you have all 6 of them in there.
No, I know what you mean, but
The one I had in my car in high school was like you put all 6 into a cartridge and put the cartridge into this box that's in the trunk.
Yep, you're right. It was a thing you could take out and load at your leisure and put it back in. Yeah. But again, Wiggum with the tongue that is amazing gets another disc in there with his mouth, mind you, or just selects another disc, and it's Janice Ian's 17, which is the perfect, because it's just this sad, I learned the truth at 17, the love was just for beauty queens, and it's ruining the mood for the mobsters. They're all jazzed, they're about to get
not a good song, by the way.
I think it's Fat Tony that's like, it's whatever the driver's, this is off your folk mix. He's just baffled and disgusted, and the driver's furious. He's like gonna beat up his CD player. He makes some kind of comment about that. Like,
I don't hate folk music, but I don't like that song at all.
I don't mind Janice Ian.
It's like One Tin Soldier by Joni Mitchell. That's a good folk song.
Yeah, I would definitely lean Joni over Janice in that argument. But
Fire and Rain is a good folk song.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's a
Cats
good
in the Cradle.
Yeah. Oh, we can keep going.
That one Charles Manson song that I like that I can't think of the title of.
So he opens a trunk. He's promptly sprayed with Fix-A-Flat, as I think what Wiggum gets him with. The other mobsters come out to help, but Homer takes them out with a tire iron.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Well, we kind of get a thing. It's like, I think it's Lou is like, well, I think their friendship is going to be different, but it's going to last forever. It's not going to be as strong.
Yeah.
Just kind of implying that Wiggum got the hint.
Yeah.
That he was a little too much. And then like, hey, we still friends? Like, we sure are. It's like, hey, can we go in the police copter? And they use the police copter to convince Ned that the rapture's having. It's like, strip off all your clothes. And Ned is just such a true, yes.
Oakley dokley, like immediately.
Shave your mustache, mix it in a glass of water, and drink it. Such a ridiculous request.
God.
Damn good episode.
It's a very good episode.
Yeah.
There's one joke that I really like early on. I think it's when Homer and Wiggum are first becoming fast friends. They're like hanging out up at that makeout point spot, and Wiggum says, Homer, you ever worry the sun's not going to come back after it goes down? Holy shit. That's such a funny question for one grown man to say to another.
Right.
Holy shit.
When he starts talking about Ralphie, and Ralphie's always worried about all these things. Like, what if Superman kills everyone?
Which that very storyline has been done in DC Comics.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, my God. Do you ever worry the sun's not going to come back?
And how he kind of bashfully says it. Like, do you ever maybe?
It's
I don't know.
they're like talking about boys. Like, he has that kind of vibe to him. Yeah, so fucking funny. That was a very good episode.
Very rarely is Homer not the dullard in a conversation, but this would be it.
Yeah, he's not often not the moron.
Yeah.
Episode 19 is The Squirt and the Whale. We start off with a trailer for a hard-hitting action movie, Tic-Tac-Toe, the movie. I wonder if there's anything specific they're making fun of here.
I think I'm wrong.
2010.
My first thought, this is too early, was the Battleship movie. But
sure, but that didn't come too long after Transformers, which would have been out by now. So, like, maybe it's kind of some amalgamation of that.
Yeah. But I don't think the Battleship movie had come out by this point.
I could not tell you when the Battleship movie came out. I've not seen it.
Man, I've heard it is not worth seeing.
That's what I've heard too.
I wonder if it's so bad it's fun, but I don't even think it's that. I think it's just a dull, big budget flop.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not good. Were I to guess. So the kids are watching TV and that's playing, but then the TV turns off because Homer is unplugging everything to save on electricity because electricity is expensive. And this is his answer, which is a bad answer. Lisa wants to go to the Alternative Energy Expo happening at their convention center. We get a couple of good gags on like names of booths, none that I wrote down, but like there are some fun ones. And then at some point Homer stops and goes, and on to the next funny booth. like acknowledging that they're all funny names.
Oh, when Lisa drops that they're going to go to the actual Homer actually goes, Expos, that's where they have free frisbees.
Yeah, which a frisbee is such a fucking absolute booth prize.
How much do you think it costs to get 200 frisbees with your company name on it?
I bet it's way cheaper to get 5,000
$7 for 5,000 frisbees.
Oh my God, should we get America's Barley Basket Frisbees? Yes, we should. You're right, Nathan. We're doing it. Stay tuned for how you can win an America's Barley Basket Frisbee.
Oh, you can win 400 American. The shipping is somehow cheaper for some weird reason.
Do we put the logo on it, or do we just write the words? We don't really have a logo other than what comes up on your podcast
Our
feed.
faces.
Okay.
Just,
I like our faces.
Detailed drawing of our faces.
Okay. Well, we need to hire an artist. This has suddenly become quite a project.
Yes, yeah. So in 18 months from now, prepare to have your chance to purchase these frisbees.
Yeah. $40 a pop.
That's a fair price.
For a frisbee? Absolutely. We come across a booth, the Royal Danish Wind Power booth. I love the little touch that it is a Dutch or a Danish wind power company.
Yeah, because they're known for their windmills.
Yeah, they got windmills. I like that quite a bit. And Homer, embracing the future, gets a wind turbine for the yard.
And he almost changes his mind, but they're like, you cannot do that. Lars has already grabbed the twine.
Yeah.
A very solemn Danish man is holding a bundle of twine.
So they are off the grid. They're on it for a minute, and the meter is running backwards because their power is going to the energy company. Not quite sure that that's how that works, but Homer cuts it off, and now they're completely off the grid as far as power goes. And then we get a very, very long sequence of them having and losing and having again and losing power based on the wind blowing.
Is that where we get are them in the bouncy house?
Yep, the bouncy house, the blower motor for the bouncy house is hooked up to the windmill, and it's going, and they're having fun, but then the wind stops and the turbine stops, so it starts to deflate, but then it goes again. We get a lot of those jokes.
We get the song High Voltage by the Electric Six.
Is that it?
Playing in the background.
I didn't recognize the song.
And right after this, I got a kick out of, you see, it's at nighttime. Bart is on the roof, on the top of this 80-foot tall wind turbine.
Taller than their house.
Pushing it by hand so Lisa can watch an episode of House.
Yep.
That was a good gag.
Keep going, Bart. I have to see him get the third diagnosis wrong so he can get the right one. I've never once seen an episode of House.
Nor have I. Yep.
Next podcast. Yep. Here we go. Our House with Nathan and Marlon. I don't want to do that.
No, God, that just sounded really,
It's got Omar Epps. I like Omar Epps. He's good in things.
This is make me sound racist, but I get Omar Epps and Tay Diggs mixed up in my head. They kind of came around the same time. Which one of them was in Higher Learning and which one of them was in House on Haunted Hill around 1999?
I've never seen either of those films.
Okay.
So
I'm really striking out here.
I know that Omar Epps is in Def Jam Fight for New York, the fighting game put out by the Aki company.
That's an odd... Man, I would be so psyched to be paying my taxes and to report that paycheck. Like, look what I got paid to do.
Snoop Dogg has to do it every year because somebody out there is buying Def Jam Fight for New York right now. Make a new Def Jam video game, you cowards.
Yeah. America's clamoring.
So they're off the grid. The windmill comes on and off, but now a storm is rolling in, and now they have too much power. The same way you beat Electro in every episode of Spider-Man that he's in. You give him too much power and overload him. I like the visual of them watching TV, but it's so bright that you can see their skeletons.
It's become an X-ray.
Yeah, that's fun.
I like the visual of the light bursting out of their house, and I think it's Apu and his family walking by, and his wife criticizes that they don't have that kind of power.
Why can't we have that much power? Yeah, that's fun. So the next day, the kids get up and they're going around looking at all the storm damage in town. Absolutely a thing. Big storm comes through, you drive around and look at storm damage.
See how many trees got knocked down.
Yep. Oh, look at all the trees knocked down. Like as a non-property owner, I can rubberneck some storm damage and enjoy myself. While they're looking around at all the storm damage, they find a beached whale, which provides the crux of the rest of the episode.
I thought the beach whale animation was very good.
Yeah, it's a good-looking whale, right? This episode, very highly regarded among critics and fans alike.
Is it really?
Yeah, they like this one a lot.
No shit.
Lisa gonna try to save the whale, because of course she is, because she's Lisa.
Yep.
And is a wildlife fan and conservationist.
Just a kind-hearted person.
Yeah.
And also, blue whales are fucking crazy. Their existence.
Yeah.
It's hard to fathom how big.
How are you real?
Yeah, exactly. Like, blue whales are bigger than any dinosaur that ever lived by a large margin.
Yeah,
like,
not even close.
I just remember being a kid and having a textbook that showed how many buses.
Why is bus the measurement? I was just about to say.
And it's like, Dad, what? 8.5 buses?
Yeah. Who decided that should be our unit of measurement?
We got the grand champion blue whale. It's 14.5 buses long.
Yay, that's so many buses.
That's too many buses. Surely it's a boast.
Oh, my God. So the townsfolk all get together. We get a couple gags of them trying to get the whale off the beach. They try pushing it, and that doesn't work. Who'd have fucking thought?
When she has the bullies keep it wet, and you just see Jimbo just boringly kicking water at the blue whale.
They try dragging it out with boats, but all the boats sink. And then we seemingly achieve our goal. Lisa is laying next to the whale, and like the military comes and scoops it up with nets and choppers and fly it out. But then like it jumps into the sky and becomes stars, and she starts to realize, wait, what? And she wakes up, and the whale is fucking dead.
Yeah.
And there's a real somber moment of like, oh.
Yeah, I can see now why, because they kind of go for a more serious tone with this episode towards the end, at least.
I had right here, like, sad Lisa with dead whale. I had the same reaction I had that time when Abe Simpson was dating that lady and she died.
Oh,
and you're like, oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Except it was a little more poignant here because it happened to Lisa, and I love Lisa.
Yeah. And it's late in the episode, too.
Yeah. We go a while. This is probably past the halfway point. Mm-hmm. So the whale died, and Lisa is super sad, and everyone's trying to be nice to Lisa and and not bring too much shit up.
Yeah.
And fucking Homer is trying to comfort her, and Bart keeps interrupting, and Homer snaps and turns to him and says, "I'm trying to be a sensitive father, you unwanted moron."
Yeah, holy
shit.
So good.
What a thing to say to your son, you unwanted moron.
Earlier, when she's walking and is sad because she think all these things remind her of the whale, so there's like this high pitched moan, and she looks, and it's fucking Martin getting a wedgie, like a wedgie so bad his feet are off the ground.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, she's bummed, like going around town and like hearing the whale, but it turns out it's something else. The town gets together and is going to dynamite the whale, a reference I love.
Yep.
Because Florence, Oregon, 1970, when they detonated that fucking sperm whale. And do yourself a favor and watch all the footage you can about the 1970 whale explosion of Florence, Oregon.
They were not prepared.
Not at
for
all.
The repercussions.
They made so many miscalculations.
Totaled so many cars. And I think shockingly no one was killed. That
I think
sound
you're right. I think no one was killed.
I think
Just a ton of property damage.
Yeah, and maybe some hospital visits. Like,
because they fucking blew a whale up with way too much dynamite.
Like, they show cars that are just like look like taco shells.
Yeah, just
because
flattened.
700 pounds of whale carcass
Yep.
fell from 800 feet in the sky. Like, oh my God.
Oh, God. Yes. The whale explosion of 1970 in Florence, Oregon.
Yeah.
You can find news footage. It's so much fun.
Good.
Fall down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
That's I feel like the whale explosion is an MVP of the internet.
Yeah,
like, that's
right.
up there with, like, Piano Cat and Star Wars Kid and Chocolate Rain.
Grape Stomp Ladies up there for me.
Yeah. God damn it, do I love whale explosion. Lisa sees that there are baby whales out off of the coast. She's standing on the docks, and she's like, "Oh, those are the baby whales!" And all of a sudden, the baby whales are surrounded by sharks. Things are going bad. Homer, coming through in the clutch, shows up in a fucking boat.
Yeah.
He's like, "Let's go save him. Let's get out there." He's got a harpoon gun.
Of course he does.
I bet a harpoon gun is so much fucking fun to shoot.
Yeah.
Like, think of how much fun a regular gun is.
Yeah, and you can see it. It's like, guns, it's all invisible. I mean, besides the damage you do.
Right. You just see target and aftermath with nothing in between. But a harpoon gun, I bet, is a lot of fun. So they go out there. They're going to kill all the sharks and save the baby whales. But that's when a group of activists come flying up and explain, like, no, if you're going to be activists, you have to also be activists for the sharks, you know? And, like, for a second, they're like, oh, that's dumb. But immediately it's like, actually, that's
exactly
pretty right,
Yep,
actually.
yep.
This is how nature works.
Yeah.
Those whales' parent is dead, so they're probably going to get eaten, and that's how it works. You can't save the whales at detriment to the sharks.
Yeah, that's why, like, as a softie, always shooting I don't think I ever bring myself to shoot a doe that had fawns right there.
Yeah.
Because those fawns are just going to die a screaming, agonizing death.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're not going to make it through the winter.
You shoot a buck or you don't shoot anything. So Homer pulls up the harpoon gun. He's going to save the baby whales from the sharks with the harpoon gun. But Lisa has a moment of like, no, they're actually right. Like, we kind of can't fiddle fuck. We can't, interfere with nature here. And that's when Homer falls in the water and is surrounded by the sharks. But then they're chased away by a different whale, the daddy whale, I guess.
Yeah.
The sharks are chased away, and Homer is saved, and the whales go out into the ocean, and everything's fine.
Homer gives some explanation. He'll be back on his feet. He's going to meet a nice lady octopus. They're going to have to move out of that place because of the memories. But
they're going to have to get their own house. Yeah. That was fun. Good episode. I love a Lisa episode. We know that about me. We get great whale explosion references. You unwanted moron is an amazing thing to call your son.
Didn't dawn on me that this would be one that's held up in the pantheon, but I can see it just because it's more serious.
Maybe not like all-time pantheon, but it is a highlight of this season,
this era. Yeah.
People like this one.
Yeah.
Fucking Lisa episodes are good episodes. I've said it from the beginning. I love a Lisa episode. I'll let you take it from here, but this next episode also a big crowd pleaser.
Oh, no
People
kidding.
love this next one also.
The next one, you mean To Surveil with Love?
That's exactly the one I'm talking about.
Episode 20. Get a fucking oddball intro. We don't get the classic The Simpsons. It's a song by, I believe it's pronounced Kesha. Mm-hmm. Kesha song, which is
TikTok by Kesha.
And it's a very dance heavy. So, I mean, they have a whole fresh beginning to this. A new animation. They're all dancing. And I did a little deep dive. Maybe you looked into this too. The reason behind this whole weird new opening, it was part of something called Fox Rocks Week, for which Fox shows were encouraged to incorporate music into the programming.
Yeah.
It was just like a rating stunt.
Yep.
So because I'm sure this was probably like May sweeps because it's the end of the season. Isn't it May? There's like a month in the fall and a month in the spring where they always try to get kick-ass
this
ratings.
episode aired May 2nd of 2010.
So that makes sense that this was during sweeps.
I don't know how spicy a take it is. I don't think it's spicy in the least. I fucking love TikTok by Kesha. I adore this song. So I was hype as balls throughout this opening sequence.
Prancing around your living room dancing.
Oh my God. Helicopter in my penis.
Yeah.
It was a blasty blast.
Look at that humble brag.
Way more balls, really.
Mostly gut. Oof. You got to see a plastic surgeon if you got enough gut skin to helicopter it.
You got to tuck some shit up.
Yeah. Holy fuck. God damn it. I don't want to ever have to tuck
Go to your
gut.
primary care physician and say I need my shit tucked up.
Like what shit? All of it.
Someday I would love to lose enough weight to need my shit tucked
Oh my
up.
God. Someday I want the whole zipper job done.
Oh, hell yeah.
They just build a brand new boy.
Fucking hacking English shepherds worth of fucking skin off me and sew me back up.
They don't even have a regular doctor. It's just like a mad tailor. Snippity snip.
He's measuring you. He's got the white fabric
Just
pencil.
a lot of measure once, cut once. He's really playing by feel. Oh, I've done a few of these zipper jobs in my day.
Everyone who doesn't know and is looking for something to listen to everyone should listen to Kesha's Rainbows album from around about 2017. One of the best albums to come out in the last 10 years. I'll say it.
Shit.
Kesha's Rainbows record is super fucking good.
I would not have assumed that.
It was one of those like, oh, she finally got out of whatever contract
Yeah.
she was in so she can make the music she wants to, and it's outstanding.
That's like the only thing I know about her is she had some kind of big legal fight, right? Shitty manager or parents or something.
Yeah. She got trapped into some manner of contract thing and wasn't able to do what she wanted. Also claims to have had sex with a ghost.
Oh, fun.
So that's fun.
Who hasn't?
I feel like most people with dollar signs in their name could probably say the same.
Yeah. She's partied.
Kesha has fucking partied
Yes.
for sure.
No one can take that away from her.
God, I love that song.
So also a fun fact, this is the first episode of The Simpsons where the title The Simpsons has never been shown.
We never see it. It's just this fun dance pop number.
Yeah. So episode begins with Jesus. It's just this depressing scene of Lenny and Carl and Homer, just these sad sack barflies sitting in silence, just looking fucking heartbreakingly sad when the fucking Duff Man, who we haven't seen, he bursts in with like 6 cheerleaders. If I could for one day have the energy of Duff Man.
I don't know I don't know if it's happened before or if this is new, but I was bummed that he comes roaring into like, y'all ready for this from Jock Jams.
Yeah.
He used to come into Oh Yeah by Yellow.
Yeah.
And that's the way better song. Day bow bow.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I think it is Duffman was introduced so early on in this show that y'all ready for this. He didn't miss it by much.
Yeah.
But he missed it by a couple of years.
Like,
yeah.
y'all ready for this is like, if this is 2010, that's like a mid 90s song, which makes it like dated enough to be lame that he's still using it, you know, which is what Yellow was in 91 or whenever we first saw him.
Good point. Yeah.
I just like that song.
Yeah. What a random ass like part of musical history. Because that was featured in a handful of soundtracks and stuff.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller is probably the biggest one. Second Ferris Bueller reference this episode.
I think I have mentioned this on this podcast prior. I'm pretty sure it's in the Michael J. Fox movie, Secret to My Success.
Okay.
So for those that are scoring at home. Yeah. So he just bursts in there and throws a bunch of beer fucking swag at him, you know, like they must have factories that produce mountains of giveaway shit.
Oh my God.
No one has more shit to give away than a beer company.
Than alcohol companies, yeah.
Go to a trivia game sponsored by Bud Light. You will have 77 can koozies, 18 windbreakers.
There was a time in my life I owned a lot of things with the Jägermeister logo on it.
Oh, from work, yeah.
Yeah, when I worked at the titty bar.
Yeah, they love to give shit away.
And I loved Jägermeister.
Was it zip drives? Duff zip drives
Yeah,
they
that
give
was
out
fun.
to back up your hard drives. And when he's leaving, I got to go and meet my estranged daughter and make sure to not ask why she dropped out of college because it's too soon.
2010, that can't be a very big thumb drive that you're getting for free.
Yeah,
That's for sure not like a 256 or a 512.
That'll hold 4 songs.
Yeah, that's a 64 gig for sure.
So Duffman Burns, and like, was there any reason for this plot line wise? Like,
To get Homer the duffel bag.
That's
literally the only reason.
You're right, but that is it. That is what happens there.
Yep, we could have had him have any bag.
Yep. So cut to the power plant, and like they're running out of places to illegally hide toxic waste and nuclear waste.
Unbelievable.
And Jesus, we get peak evil Burns. He's like, well, let's just hide it on our dipshit employees.
Yeah.
So they're just like fucking cat burglaring around with like a tongs holding a fucking uranium rod, and they see fucking Homer in the break room, and they just put a rod in his fucking Duffman duffel bag.
Yep. Basically what happens in the opening credits of The Simpsons.
Yep, right?
Gets a rod tag along.
Yeah.
I love that when Smithers breaks the news to Burns, he's like, the dump site is already full. And Burns' immediate reaction is, did they try stepping on it to squish it down? Yes, sir. It's squished down in some parts, but up in others. Smithers so matter of fact.
Yeah. Of course they've tried that. I'm sure it's been suggested prior.
Yeah, Burns. I love that that's Burns' cure-all for that. Is like, well, did they try smushing it down?
And Homer, while in the lunchroom, is having mac and cheese, and he's really enjoying it. And someone suggests, "Oh, you got to go to the train station. The cafeteria at the train station has the best mac and cheese." Which he just leaves. He leaves work and goes and does that. He meets a man there. Like, "Oh, have you ever been to Ogdenville? That's whatever fucking random place in Ogdenville." So then he just leaves that duffel bag there. Doesn't think anything of it, and that's where we get the ominous image of a duffel bag left alone. Which, I don't know about you, if I was walking through a busy place and I just saw a duffel bag sitting in the middle of the floor, it would catch my eye. Like, oh,
I would walk right on by it.
Really? Yeah.
I would never notice that kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Like especially if I'm like A, somewhere I haven't been, or B, just kind of out in public in general, I'm so laser focused on what I'm doing. Like, my attention is exactly 50-50 divided in between laser focused on getting where I'm going and fucking daydreaming my balls off. I am both extremely present and so far away.
And I'm a real alpha male, so I'm always looking out for the flock. I'm more of a shepherd.
always got your head on a swivel looking for threats.
Yep, always looking for doing threat prioritization.
Ocular pat down, as Mac would call it. Yep.
So I'm always looking and always assessing danger, so I can see.
Not me, man. Plus, I have earbuds in for sure. I'm miles away. Like, God forbid I ever move to a big city. I'm getting mugged on day fucking 1. And they're going to have to like prod me a couple of times to get me to realize what's happening.
Yeah, because you'll be listening to that fucking bomb. Hold on a sec. That's pardon? As you get pistol whipped.
Hey, if you're going to get pistol whipped, that's a pretty good song to get pistol whipped to.
Going out for a walk in your lime green tracksuit at 3:30 a.m.
And somebody's putting a fucking 38 upside your head. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
If you could somehow get that to play outwards, it might be so off-putting for them they leave you alone. Like, ugh.
It ends and starts again because I got it on repeat.
I don't need a Zune that bad. He can keep it.
You can keep your credit cards, man. You listen to this on loop. Dum, dum, dum.
So now they've called in the bomb shelter to deal with this, or not the bomb shelter. What the hell? They call it the bomb squad, and there's all sorts of. It's because what they're playing on is just the overreaction to everything in society.
Oh God, everything's a terrorist threat. Yep. Where do you stand on mac and cheese? Not to backtrack too far. Do you give a fuck about a bougie mac and cheese?
Rarely do I have probably, I don't know, I'm a 42-year-old man. I probably ate mac and cheese in 30 to 40 different restaurants if I had to guess a number. I bet one or two of them are better than a properly prepared bowl of Kraft mac and cheese. I would like a Trash Daddy mac and cheese. I think Kraft mac and cheese.
You do. What am I talking about?
I think so much mac and cheese at restaurants is either try hard or just limp dick.
Yeah.
I want toxic orange powder flavoring my mac and cheese.
I very rarely order mac and cheese off a menu.
It's disappointing so often.
Well, to me, it's not even that. Like, even at its worst, like, bad mac and cheese is still going to be pretty good. It's just there's always something else on the menu I would rather have or I would rather try. But, like, I've had a handful of mac and cheeses where I was like, I get it. I understand why this is on the menu. Yeah. This is good enough to order at a restaurant.
And I'm always like, well, I'll be damned. I'm
always, like, surprised. Like, you know, oh, it's got bacon and breadcrumbs and chives. This is fucking good.
Breadcrumbs are always a nice touch.
I'm not a fan of a lobster mac and cheese. I think it's a hat on a hat. I think it's a gilding the lily situation.
I've heard of it, never seen it.
I've never had it several times.
Hollywood Marlin.
I get it. I understand. We're going to take the most bougie thing and put it in the most trash dish. So I understand the dichotomy, but I've never had a good lobster mac.
It's like you have so much lobster in your home. You're like, oh, I simply can't.
Yeah, like it's decadent.
No more.
It's so fucking bourgeoisie.
Had my 14th lobster tail. Oh.
Yeah, like you're sitting there in your crown and your 9 coats, and Rasputin is there, and the people are coming with their torches.
Yeah. You're in your vomitorium, just stuffed full of lobster tails. Oh,
more in my bottom.
Must consume in every direction.
Oh, yeah.
As they flip you over to shove a lobster tail up your ass. Chicka chicka.
Beautiful.
Yeah, boy. Not one to body shame. There were adjectives to describe that.
That's where I stand on macaroni and cheese.
So the Springfield, of course, panics, and the mayor decides we need a city planner to take care of all this. And here's my beef with this episode. The planner they introduce is Eddie Izzard. Love to have Eddie Izzard. But
I adore Eddie Izzard.
It feels shoehorned to make him British. Why is it a British guy?
There's a reason.
It's because of the nanny state thing?
Because London is so...
all cameras.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Like, London is the city that is full of surveillance cameras. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's why he's British.
Okay. Yep. That. Now, I retract everything I said. Rescind everything I said.
No disrespect to Eddie Izzard. Yeah. I marked the fuck out when he showed up because I recognized his voice right away. I love Eddie Izzard so much. Her voice. Sorry. I adore Eddie Izzard so much. I've seen Eddie Izzard live.
Oh, no shit, where at?
In Fargo at NDSU.
You're right. Yep, I remember when that...
She did not a concert, but she performed here at NDSU several years back and ruined me.
Really?
Eddie Izzard is so fucking funny. Also, an outstanding performance on Hannibal.
The movie or the TV show?
The TV show. The NBC
shit.
show, yeah, the Mads Mikkelsen Hannibal.
Oh, I would have assumed Eddie Izzard was a
Izzard
big
is in
enough
that.
star. They wouldn't be on just an NBC procedure.
I remember thinking that's a good get.
Yeah.
What a fun
Yeah,
guest star.
yeah.
But Eddie Izzard continues to show up all over that show.
Oh, no kidding.
So good.
I never would have guessed.
Eddie Izzard's comedy, you like it or you don't, I like it. I adore
It's
Eddie Izzard's
been so
stand-up.
long since I've seen anything Eddie Izzard. I don't even remember what my opinion was.
Yeah. There's a new Eddie Izzard special out there that I've not gotten around to watching yet called Wunderbar
Well, there you
that
go.
I've heard is good.
Sounds like something to put on the homework list.
Yep.
Homework that you'll enjoy.
I love homework.
More homework, please. So the city meets. They have this new city planner, and he convinces them to fucking blanket the city in cameras, which that's what happens. And we've had this same premise before where they overreact to something. They want to have the police handle it. The police are overmanned. They can't do it. So they bring the general public in. It's the immigrants.
When the Norwegians, the border crossing. Yep, I thought of that immediately. I was like, we just did this kind of,
Yeah.
but it works for me. I'm fine with it. Like,
Yep.
especially this one in particular, the group that they get to do the monitoring is perfectly cast because it's the nosy townsfolk. It's Ned. It's Marge.
Well, I think Wiggums even tells him, like, you are the select few in this town that are the right level of nosy without being creepy.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a good way to
That's
describe.
a good window
Yep.
to hit. Like, you're super nosy but not creepy is a good, like, that's a narrow green window you have
It's
there.
basically a bunch of adult narcs.
Yeah, adult hall monitors.
And of course, Ned leans way too hard into it to the point, like, the town, it is Orwellian in its scope at this point.
It's full on, full of camera. It's London. Or downtown Fargo.
Yeah.
Downtown Fargo has so fucking many cameras that you
Littered
don't realize.
Cameras, yep.
I used to work for a place that ran all the security cameras in downtown
no
Fargo, so I learned where they all are.
Oh, interesting. Now you know where to vomit and do your bathroom business outside.
That's the secret. There's so many that you can't privately vomit anywhere down there.
Think so? Hard to shit downtown.
Absolutely. Good luck shitting downtown.
Man. Ugh, this used to be America. Just shit in the streets. Like a patriot.
Yeah, if you want to double in the street like a real American, you're shit out of luck.
You know what we need to do to take back the power? We need to be like New Yorkers and San Francisco people, where there's so few bathrooms. You just start normal, good, tax-paying Americans will shit between two parked cars.
Let's do it.
Because you know what? God damn it, we're doing a dinner and a movie, and I got to shit, and there's nowhere to do it.
I'll rock a fucking troubling dump outside today. Let's do it.
Really? Oh,
Let's set these mics down.
I am not a good. I have never shit outside of a toilet that I can think of.
Well, no, like I'm not like. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not like. I'm into it as a political gesture, Nathan. I'm not like, yeah, this is what I usually do.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
I got friends that'll shit outside just for laughs. They just shit on your patio just as a joke. I had a friend that did that. Shit on someone's patio in college. Because it's like, I'm gonna go piss. Went to piss. Took longer than usual. Finally, someone's like, do you smell shit? And fucking, he couldn't keep it together. And finally, the guy that owned the place like, what the fuck? Just took a big old dump right. Like, God. That's something you can talk about pistol whipping. I don't think you should die for it, but you can get a pretty bad concussion for shit on someone's patio.
The last time I bent a fucking biscuit outdoors, it was definitely out in a hayfield, like on the farm.
Oh,
like,
I was hoping like a couple summers ago, just a nostalgic outdoor shit, you know?
It was this past weekend when we were on that other podcast.
Getting back to my roots. So Bart is obviously, he's trying to skateboard, and Ned is just on him the whole time. Like, it's like, be less radical. And he's like, less cube gleaming, which is a very obscure reference.
I wrote that down verbatim. Stop gleaming that cube.
And he discovers
Gleaming the Cube's a good movie.
Is it really?
Yep.
I haven't seen it in so long. I was literally
Neither have I, but I'm sticking to my guns here.
Young Christian Slater, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And Bart by mooning the camera and discovering, oh, he can't see my butt right now, through a trial and error process of mooning, discovers that he tapes off this section of the Simpsons backyard that cannot be reached by camera. And then Homer walks in or comes back there as he's doing it, and they kind of figure, oh, we have this area. It's almost like international waters.
Exactly. There's a blind spot in the Simpsons backyard. Of course it's in their backyard.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And Homer decides, hey, let's monetize this and pay. You got to pay a cover charge. You can do all your sinning.
Yeah.
And there are some very good laughs.
Holy shit.
When you see what they're up to in that, because it's such a small amount of land. I mean, there's a lot of people that are just milling around and drinking and smoking.
Yep.
And but some like in one of the scenes, if you look, Lenny is just running a counterfeit money operation. It's a big printing press.
My favorite, I laughed so hard right here. Fucking Brandine, the yokel, takes a fucking pull out of that XXX jug, and then it pans back to show that she's extremely pregnant, and she just goes, yeah, that stopped the kicking.
Good God.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, that was good.
I was wrecked. I was fucking ruined.
And if you look, the bullies are building like some kind of brick. Is it supposed to be like a wall, but not really?
Yeah, I forget what exactly here's what it is. They're just building a wall
to
graffiti on.
That's exactly what it is.
Because Jimbo even writes with his spray can, he writes F and U.
It's not finished.
Yep. And then when it gets busted later, he just quick puts an N and an exclamation point on it.
Yep, you're spot on. They need a wall to vandalize.
Yep.
So they're doing that, and all of a sudden, word gets out. Oh, here comes Marge, and they know Marge is the anti-fun police.
Yeah.
And they go back there, and Homer is wearing a clown mask as underwear, and that's all he's wearing.
Yeah, like a Halloween clown mask, like from the movie Halloween, like the little clown face.
And she's like, that Maggie has to wear that in a week. Like, don't put that there. Like, gross. And finally, she susses out of Homer what's going on, and she's very torn up about it. Like, she's basically just kind of like fretting. There's some sidewalk fretting going on, and Eagle Eye Ned sees this fretting and knows something's afoot.
Yeah,
goes to the Simpson house and sees all the sitting, and that's where we get, a big kind of like he, of course, because he's on the right, he's on the side of, hey, I thought all these cameras would make us make this a utopia.
Yeah,
it's like, no, you've just forced all the bad stuff underground. It's never going to go away. And then Homer kind of does a fairly good job of properly showing why this isn't the way to run a city.
Yeah,
and convinces Ned.
Yeah, he explains like when you police everybody's weird shit like so harshly, they have to get it out somewhere, and it gets amplified because that's when Chalmers comes by in that little Bo Peep outfit
with the nunchucks,
and spinning nunchucks, and says, "This used to just be a small part of me." So fucking funny.
There's so many good things happening.
Yeah, when you make something illegal or wrong, the people do it harder.
Yep. And then that's what. We get Ned and Homer joyriding through Springfield, getting rid of all the cameras. What do they use? I know we see it.
At one point, they're just throwing rocks, and then the next scene you see, Homer's hanging out the window with a fucking shotgun, blowing cameras away.
Yep. Because I think at one time in the Sin area, he has a shotgun too. Yeah. And we do have a B story. Boy, this is definitely lowercase b.
Extremely slim B story. Yeah.
We get Lisa joining the debate team, which it's
not a real thing.
Yep. Yeah. No, you're right. Yep.
Not where I come from. Anyway.
Certainly not even where I come from.
You didn't have a debate team, really?
No, we're power drinking at the age. Yeah. We're trying not to be regulars in a real life RPG roadhouse.
I've heard tell of debate teams.
Do you think you would have been in on that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been too bashful to speak in public like that.
Like in a roundabout way, livestock judging was my debate team. Like I get all my public speaking skills because public speaking has never once shook me. It's never bothered me at
You
all.
mentioned that. That's wild.
Because I started doing livestock judging when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So, and that has an oral part to it.
Oh, really?
Where you have to stand in a room with a
Sing a
strange
song
man
about your
and give
cow.
oral.
Yeah.
You give. You have to give a compelling argument as to why you judged this class of animals the way you did.
Oh, no
So it's
shit.
essentially debate against somebody who's not debating back. And that's where all my public speaking came from.
My cow is the bestest cow in the whole wide world. Tap dancing.
I've got tap shoes and a fucking ballerina outfit on.
Like a Shirley Temple curls. Boo boop be doop.
Showing up to competition.
And you just nail it, and your calf just sprays the scours everywhere. F-. Oh.
Showing up in like Tsar Nicholas with the big sash with too many pins on it.
How did Marlon do? Well, he got an F-, and the calf gave him scours. Boo boop be. Oh no. My tum.
Oh.
You with a tiny little cassette player playing the single of that song.
Listening to it on my Talk Boy.
Yeah, on the toilet. What did we say about bringing it into the bathroom?
Taking hot liquid dumps.
So Lisa seems like a perfect fit for the debate team, and during her first debate, she loses to a girl who was the other girl was a good debater, so it's not like Lisa was totally raw, but that other girl just leans into making fun of Lisa for being blonde.
Which this is 2010. Were blonde jokes still even real?
Yeah, this seems like this should have been in 1993.
I feel like I heard a lot of blonde overheard a lot of blonde jokes because I had a blonde mother. Still do. She's still with us. But so I feel like I overheard a lot of blonde jokes in my youth, and I just never got it. Blonde jokes are like that specific brand of lazy street joke where you can substitute blonde for any other adjective.
Yeah.
Like blonde jokes are the same as Polak jokes.
Yep. Oh yeah. Hey, you're spot on. Did you get a lot of prejudice for being a blonde boy?
No, because as is addressed in this episode, that's only a thing for blonde girls and blonde women.
What does Bart say? They just assume we're evil.
Yeah, I never got blonde jokes. I was too busy catching all the fat jokes everybody had.
Like, he's blonde too.
We doubly don't like him. What are you doing, reading?
You dummy.
Slap the book out of my lap.
Reading about being a dumb blonde.
Rip off my headphones. God damn it.
We're getting to the bass drop.
Boom.
So Lisa is very angered by this because she knows that she didn't lose by any merit. She just lost because he laughed at her for having blonde hair, and it pops up a couple times throughout the episode. And then finally, she she just gives up, and there's the maniacal Lisa's losing her shit laugh. We see a silhouette of her shadow as lightning strikes, and she's in the bathroom, presumably dyeing her hair. Cut to the next debate. We hear Lisa giving an eloquent rebuttal of whatever argument she's trying to make. Cut to her with, not only does she have brown hair, she has a whole different hairstyle.
How do you feel about this? How do you
I
feel
don't like
about
it at
this
all.
look?
I don't like it at all.
I didn't figure you would.
I don't want Lisa to
Makes
change.
you uncomfortable.
Yep. Lisa's not a grown-up. Lisa shouldn't. 8-year-olds don't dye their hair. If they do dye their hair, they get paddled.
You ever dye your hair?
Oh, bro.
You want to right now? You want to put these mics down?
I tried to dye my hair blonde or bleach it in my senior year of high school.
Oh, buddy.
And I didn't realize that is a multi-step process.
You got to have a professional involved.
I hired a professional.
Okay, good.
Let's put professional in big air quotes here.
Yeah.
This is how professional are they if they're in Botano. But I just ended up with peanut butter hair, which meant I needed another go around because I got real dark hair.
Yeah.
And so I had fucking crazy peanut butter head. That's the color of my hair.
They didn't just take you for another?
No, it wasn't. I don't even remember being told to sign up for it. That's what a professional hairstylist would have done. Like, hey, we're going to get you in here in 2 weeks and do the next round and get you that light colored hair.
Not even 2 weeks. Like the next week, you should have been able to do it again.
No, that was it. They're just basically like a slap your hands, job well done. Like, well, this is.
So you had that like half bleached, like orange, that weird.
Inside of a Butterfinger.
Yep.
That's the hair I had. And it was ridiculous. Like 2 photos of it exist as far as I know.
We need those photos.
One of them is if you flip over my senior yearbook in the class picture, that's my hair in that.
I wish I had a senior yearbook.
And I don't have mine. I've only seen pictures of it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
Because I got fuck me. That's what I looked like in that picture. Terrific. And also one time I had some tragic senior year hair decisions. I paid to get streaks put in my hair, but I still had the butt cut part down
amazing. The hair curtain.
So it just looks like there's like literal streaks of butter down my hair. That was my driver's license.
You send me these photos.
That photo is lost to time.
No.
If you called the North Dakota DOT, maybe.
What a phone call to make.
Hey, my friend had a very embarrassing photo taken in 1997. Is there any way he get a real charge out of this?
I would like to find my friend's driver's license ID photo from 30 years ago. Can you do that?
And as far as I know, I've never have tried anything before that or since then.
I've only done it once. I dyed my hair like less than 6 months ago.
Oh, that's the first time, huh?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever did it. I dyed it blue. And I enjoyed it, but was bummed by how short it lasted.
I bet. I never thought of that. Yeah,
like it goes quick, especially like an unnatural color, like bright blue. I had like.
I bet it requires endless going in for touch-ups or whatever.
Touch-ups or like
re-dye.
Or like, hey, guess what? You just don't get to wash your hair, and I can't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just goes too quick. You wash it out.
How often do you wash your hair?
Every fucking day.
That's wild.
Like I get bad dandruff if I don't condition my hair every day. Like I have to wash my hair.
See, if I washed my hair every day, I'd get dandruff.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, you would dry out.
It would dry it out.
I'm the other side. Like I have to put conditioner in every day.
Yeah. This has been Hair Talk. You never had. I was hoping you had a goth phase where you tried to go black.
I never tried to go. My complexion is so white that black hair would look ridiculous on me.
Oh yeah.
So I never did try it. You want to do it now? Like, should I do it tomorrow?
Like a black lead singer of AFI haircut, you would be fucking terrified.
I, for sure, in 2004, early in my sophomore year of high school, right about the time I discovered Marilyn Manson's The Golden Age of Grotesque album, when Mob Scene was on the videos and everything, I for sure went in and got done the like Manson swoop, like this number, like the one Bully in The Simpsons has, and but never colored it. But I rocked that hairstyle.
Oh,
for a
no
while.
shit.
Yeah.
How'd that go over with the kids in high school?
I didn't have any. I was in college at the time.
Oh
and
shit!
Didn't have any friends anyway. So I was in a phase of reinvention, Nathan. I was in a building phase, to put it in NBA terms.
It was a remodel house.
Yeah, it was a rebuilding era for me.
All the sheetrock was removed.
I was like, I can wear cowboy boots and have this haircut. Like that's fine. I can play too much DDR in this duster coat.
Wearing the cowboy boots into college, huh?
Motherfucker, I'll wear cowboy boots today. I adore cowboy boots because they're so fucking comfortable.
That's
like,
not true, but
they're
that's
absolutely
trauma. That's
you
trauma
get that
talking.
Heel up off the ground, like. Maybe I want to wear high heels. Maybe is what we're getting at.
That is cool. Like, good for you.
Cowboy boots, you get the heel up off the ground. You get that high top that goes fucking halfway up to your knee, keeps your ankle stable. Cowboy boots are an outstanding footwear.
Man, I mean, some people, you aren't alone there. I don't get it. Ever owned a pair of Skechers? It'll change your life.
I have owned Skechers, yeah. I have fucking horrifyingly bad arches, so Skechers don't do much for me. Skechers are a little flat, at least the ones I've worn. Same way, I love wearing Vans. I love how they look, but they're fucking uncomfortable as shit on me.
And I can see if you have arch issues that a boot is probably good for your feet.
Yeah, gets you heel up. Like, And it makes a fun sound if you're in a hallway alone, which I usually am.
Clippity clopping.
Yep, I love a good clippity clop.
Yep.
Man, cowboy boots are so fucking comfortable.
You with a goddamn Marilyn Manson swoop with a fucking...
With a brown oil skin,
duster.
ankle length duster,
You got
and
a
cowboy
fucking
boots.
Hicks Brooks Fire Western dress shirt tucked into Jinkos.
Nope, by this point,
bloused out.
By this point, I got like, if I don't have my hair swoop done, I got a backwards Slipknot hat and probably a Slipknot t-shirt. And
tucked into pro rodeos.
And blue jeans that are too blue. Like, like a little rich blue, like a navy blue jean. Getting zero puss at all.
You're putting out a weird bait, but you know what? There's a fish for every bait.
And I'm in college at the time, living in the dorms. I'm going to the Union. I'm kicking off those cowboy boots to play DDR every day in the arcade. Played a lot of DDR in college.
Good for you.
Didn't go to algebra, but I played a lot of DDR.
Class. I got a rep to build.
You got to kick off those cowboy boots to play Dance Dance Revolution. By the way,
they will ban you from the arcade.
Something.
Yep. So Lisa was a brunette.
Oh, right, Lisa's hair.
And she just kicks ass now. There's just like, and then there's good comments by the judge like, well, with hair like that, how could she be wrong? And then she, of course, Lisa, with her righteous indignation, gives a speech about why are we judging people by the color of their hair and this and that. Like blonde people aren't dumb. Fat people aren't always jolly. And it cuts to comic book guy in the crowd. It's like, would you be jolly if you heard that Comic-Con may move from San Diego to Anaheim?
It's such a good line. While he's eating a pizza.
Yeah. He's eating a pizza alone.
A delivery pizza. Cardboard box. Not brought it from home.
In the crowd at a goddamn 8-year-old's fucking debate meet.
A childless man eating delivery pizza at a school event is reason to call the police.
Try walk into a grade school with a delivery pizza if you don't have a kid that belongs in that school. See what happens.
Let's do it. Let's film it tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm physically ready to get tased.
End of this podcast right now.
Yeah.
We covered earlier. I'll get tased. Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. You're gonna take the bump here.
I can take one. Yeah.
And that is pretty much that.
Yeah, that's the end of that B story for sure.
Yeah.
You've been doing a thing over the past few weeks. Don't think I haven't noticed it. Instead of jumping back and forth between A and B stories, you cover all of A and then all of B.
I think it spells it out better.
Think so?
To the people that are remembering an episode that they watched 11 years ago.
Fair, yeah.
Because I've thought about that. I was like, I bet it's jarring. It's like, wait. Because like when you spell out the whole story beginning to end, I think it's easier for them to remember and put themselves into watching that episode.
Okay. I think I have faith in myself and the listeners to be able to follow my meanwhile over here back at, I feel like.
Like the things they would say in an episode of the Batman show from the 60s.
Exactly.
Like, meanwhile
at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah. Yep. Listeners, write in. Let us
critique.
Know. Yep.
Just letting you know I noticed.
Yep. I made the choice to do that.
I figured that it was intentional.
And I was kind of wondering. I wonder if Marlon's noticed.
Oh, for sure.
What of the letters? I mean, we get buried in physical letters. When you go you go to get our P.O. box cleaned out weekly.
Up to my dick in van mail all the time. There's an extremely good joke here. Well, two that I like. One, early on when Homer has abandoned the what's it called, the duffel bag, and everyone thinks it's terrorist suspicion and yada yada. There's a moment where the bomb squad and the SWAT team show up, and there's that like super manly fucking bomb squad leader. And he's like, we got to blow it up and let those libs complain about it. And they pan over to this group of protesters. They're all holding signs, and one of them shouts, "Why can't it be blown up by a woman of color?" Holy shit.
The voice that they use is literally droopy. Like, why can't they choose a woman of color? That's so well done.
I was fucking dying laughing because I consider myself to be part of the left, but I love when people dunk on the
identity
extreme
politics.
left.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like that kind of thing. Like is so funny to me. Like that's what you're upset about.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Like, how dare you assume that dog's gender? That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Identity politics of the left absolutely kill me.
Yep.
Especially when it's that ridiculous. Like, I agree on so many things. I corrected myself on Eddie Izzard's pronouns earlier, so I'm on your side. But holy shit, are there some people on your side that are so dumb?
Fucking dislocating their shoulders and patting themselves in the back so hard.
Fuck, I was dying. And then the other one I wanted to cover was way at the end of the episode, when they're shooting out all the surveillance cameras and everything. The character played by Eddie Izzard, the British guy who did all this, turns to the camera and is like, "Well, I guess that's the end of Britain's new favorite reality show." And it cuts to the Queen watching
American Oafs.
American Oafs. So this was all just a British TV show. And then the Queen says some line about like, "Oh, that's too bad," or whatever she says. Eddie Izzard also voiced the Queen, which I thought was fun.
What she said is, "I will miss little Ralphie Wiggum the most. He reminds me of my oldest son." And then Prince Charles walks in with this very foo-foo cat. This big fluffy cat with like a tiara. "My cat's breath smells like cat food."
Amazing. 'Cause that's Ralph. That's my favorite Ralphie line.
Holy shit. A Ralphie thing that I forgot from earlier was when they're talking about, we have a debate team. It's like, yes, there's no equipment needed. And they have gotten rid of the lecterns and the students have to be the fucking Ralphie comes out with like a wood panel taped to his head. I'm a furniture.
Yeah. And then Wendell is also one. Wendell is also a podium.
I think there's like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
Holy shit. I like this episode a lot. I really like poking fun at like surveillance, police state, 1984 shit. Big fan and love Eddie Izzard. Like there was a lot for me in this episode.
Yep, this is a good episode.
And fucking Brandine taking that pull off that porcelain jug and saying that stopped the kicking.
8.5 months pregnant.
Jesus Christ, Brandine. It's not very often that the Simpsons do a joke that like hits me in a like holy shit way, but that was one of them.
That's more of a South Park thing.
Yeah, that felt like a South Park joke. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, this was so far we've hit a run. It started off slow, if you remember.
Yep.
But we've hit a run. Even if the story doesn't do much for me, the jokes have markedly improved,
and I like them both. I think the jokes are moderate and the storytelling is above that. Like if you put a gun to my head, it's like a 7 or a 6 jokes and a 7 storytelling. Okay, you know what I mean? Like I am really enjoying season 21 quite a bit. Yep. This batch in particular, man, there's a couple of really fucking good episodes in here.
That Porky Pig Jesus, when the excitement and his childlike glee, Porky Pig.
I like that Ned refers to Jesus Christ as the most famous man in the world, and I have never thought about Jesus in terms of fame.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's right.
Like famous is such a good adjective there.
Yeah.
Like not important or inspiring or influential. Famous.
See, I think that's good writing, because I think like someone like Ned has thought of Jesus in historical context too. You know? Like,
exactly. Like he thinks of Jesus the way he thinks of Elvis Presley,
Julius Caesar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought that was a very funny way to look at that. I thought it was a good batch. I in particular really adore that last episode.
Yeah. This is, I don't know, I think I'm slightly less on it than you are, but I did enjoy it. Season 21 has went from troubling to above average. I mean,
it started rough.
Yep. Oh yeah. It was concerning. It was a concerning start.
Like, oh no.
And I think maybe we had season 19 or 20 that had a concerning start and turned itself around.
I don't remember anymore. They all run together.
They all blend together. Just a sea of yellow.
And that does it. We made it. We got through another batch of 5 of The Simpsons.
We did it.
We'll do it again next week.
Better men for it?
I feel like I'm a better man for
I
it.
think so.
Yep. Support Eddie Izzard and all that she does. Eddie Izzard, so good. Listen to some Yellow if you get the chance. Mostly just that song. I don't think I've ever heard another song.
They hung it up. They nailed it.
We got one and done, baby.
Went got their CDLs after that. It's like we've done all we can in music. Now we start trucking.
Got their forklift licenses.
One of them's a barber.
We'll do 5 more next week. We're going to wrap up season 21 with episodes 21 to 23, and then we will start season 22, episodes 1 and 2. So the last 3 of 21 and the first 2 of 22.
A new season, new beginnings.
Yeah, new beginnings. We will get a nice crossover. We'll explain what else is going on in the world when the new season premieres. I believe that'll be fall of 2010. So we'll do our usual recaps that we do and get into a new one, and a fun crossover.
It'll be fun. We're hitting spring. Young man's thoughts turns to love in spring.
Is that a real saying?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
fancy time saying.
I believe you. I don't know what it means, but okay.
Yep.
It has
want a fucking late pipe, bro.
Okay.
You like that motion I'm giving you right there?
It's like I'm really something.
I'm going to boil that couch.
I think it's amazing how you can thrust your thighs but not your hips at all.
It's just there's a lot moving at once.
Oh, is that it?
It's
Okay. It's a real...
It's like those Rube Goldberg. The hips are coming.
You look like the demonstration of the bad mattress that tips the wine glass over in the infomercial.
I gotta cross my arms angrily. I can't drink Merlot in bed.
There's gotta be a better way. We revisited our friends over at Brews, Booze, and Reviews, a podcast about alcohol. We are on there. When this comes out, it'll no longer be the new episode, the way these got recorded and scheduling.
Yeah.
But we are on episode 173 of Brews, Booze, and Reviews. Our friends had us over again to drink absinthe.
Like a couple of 18th century renegade alchemists were just out there living life on the edge.
Like a couple of poets. You and I drank a bunch of absinthe and discussed it and sampled quite a few. I think we had, 4 altogether?
Four
different brands. Learned a ton of history. Fucking Evan, who was with us on the bourbon podcast that we did with them before, was also there, and he knows his shit.
Yep.
And I had a lot of fun. I always do. We're now 2 for 2 of I really enjoyed that.
Yep.
And absinthe, we learned not to give too much away. Go listen to the episode number 173 of Brews, Booze, and Reviews. Turns out I like absinthe.
There you go. You're a decadent young libertine.
So much so that the next day after we recorded that episode, I went and bought a bottle of the one I like the most.
Bought a bottle, drank it in the parking lot.
For $75. I bought a $75 bottle of booze.
Someone pulling into a liquor store, a nice suburban liquor store, looking over at you just look sad, and then all of a sudden a cascade of vomit bursts forth from you. You lean back as you're crying, and they notice you're holding a bottle of high-end absinthe. None of that would add up. Just didn't even take the time to go home. Crack it behind the wheel, taking pulls off of it.
Throw the cork out the window and just taking pulls.
Yeah, 3 orders of BK nuggets. You drunkenly try to wipe them off. You can't salvage those nuggets, bro.
Got a bottle of absinthe sitting in the cup holder of my car.
$75 for absinthe, $4.47 for 30 nuggets.
I'm driving home and I'm trying to do the whole spoon and sugar thing while I'm driving. Oh shit. Yeah, it turns out I like absinthe quite a bit. I bought myself a bottle of champagne to try the Ernest Hemingway cocktail, Death in the Afternoon.
How'd that go for you?
I haven't tried it yet.
Ooh.
Because once you pop a bottle of champagne, it doesn't last long because the bubbles.
Oh,
flat champagne is fucking horrible. So I need to have a cocktail night and invite some friends over.
Yeah, you got to have a day to fuck up. Just start drinking champagne in the afternoon.
Or I could have some friends over, Nathan. I have that option.
Let's just face reality.
I don't need to do it myself.
Who are these friends? You know what year it is? They've moved on. You just going down to the bus stop.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. You want to drink some champagne with me?
I've already got them mixed. I just got champagne flutes that are tinged green that I'm handing out.
In your car, you drink drinks with these guys.
Holy
and
shit.
let them out. That's a good hang.
Turns out absinthe is good.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I did not think I'd like it as much as I did.
Yep, I was a big fan. So listen to that episode of Brews, Booze, and Reviews, episode 173, to hear Nathan and I drink a bunch of absinthe.
We had a lot of fun.
It's a really good time. As we're recording this, I went and saw Elton John last night, and it was great.
If I would have been here, I would have been right next to you.
Yeah. One tiny nitpick, he did not play the Lion King song, and I was stunned. Like, I genuinely figured, like, of course he's going to play Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Yeah.
And he didn't. I was surprised.
You're a man in his prime. You want to feel the love. It's Saturday night.
But I was moved to tears singing along to Tiny Dancer. So it all checks out. It's all fine.
I regret not being in town for that. I told jokes in front of drunk people that were dying in front of my eyes from alcohol poisoning. It was like, when do we call authorities if said authorities exist in this town? It was like, as one of my fellow comics said, it's the first time and she has been doing comedy for decades now. First time in her comedy career, she has had to ask the owners of the establishment to mop where we're about to perform comedy because a woman just attempted to shotgun a beer on stage and almost drowned on it because she was and this woman was probably a 50-year-old school teacher.
How do you not know how to shotgun when you're in your 50s?
Because in her head, she had reached a level of drunk where she didn't realize it's not 1994 anymore.
I'll shotgun a beer right now. Like, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but you can do it without spilling beer all over the place.
For as much troubling mass alcohol consumption we did as kids, we rarely shotgun beers.
Really?
What we did, if you take a beer, look at a can of beer that's been opened.
Nathan's holding a Miller Lite.
We would take a knife,
demonstration.
stab it right here where the little pop top goes.
Okay, opposite from the hole you drink out of.
Exactly. Yep,
okay.
Opposite the hole.
So 12 o'clock, if 6 o'clock is where you drink from.
And it works perfectly as a carb.
It's an air hole, yeah.
Yep. So then you can just pour a beer down your throat as fast as you can drink it.
Huh.
That was always our thing.
We never did that. We were shotgunners where I come from.
I don't know. Like, I don't trust a lot of the people I drank with as a teenager with a knife. You know, I want to chop my own hole. I feel like I had the dexterity to pull that off. I just worried about people stabbing themselves in the thigh accidentally or something because we would be driving while we did this.
So were we.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who's passed away now, but he could puncture the hole at the bottom of a can to do shotgunning with his thumb, and it used to fucking drive me crazy because it's like, how are you not bleeding? Like, just grab a can by the bottom and just punch it.
That's
like
wild.
Like you're punching through a fucking like you're popping bubble wrap just with his thumb. And I was always like, how are you that was his talent.
No shit. That's some grip strength there. My God.
I mean, he was a beefy boy. He was a real solid, real forearmy boy, but just
you guys big shotgunners growing up?
I feel like most
not shotgun, I mean funnel.
Oh, beer bonging?
Bonging, there we go.
Like, there's too much cleanup. There's too much, like, for us, beer bonging was always too much work. Nobody wants to go to the fucking hardware store.
Yeah, that's where you went. You went to, like, the feed store where they had all the hardware shit.
Yeah.
Well, the cleanup became, you just realized it's a one-night ordeal. That all goes in the trash.
Just throw it away.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was always just amazed by the physics of a beer bong. I remember when it was explained to me, I was a kid. I was like, that can't work as like it sounds, but it's the truth.
Oh, yeah.
You do it right, that beer goes down your gullet in a second.
You ever get to somewhat, like I've certainly done beer bongs. You ever done one? Because, like, I feel like the couple of beer bongs that, like, my core group of friends were ever involved in high school or college were pretty ramshackle. Like, listen, we just stuffed a funnel into one end of this hose. Go nuts. You ever go somewhere or been at a party where they put too much engineering work into the beer bong to the point where it feels fancy? Like, oh, you guys got a valve?
Yep.
Like, you just fill this funnel and then open the fucking valve?
No one's got to be pinching something.
Right. No one's got to be like holding up one end of the hose so it doesn't, it's not just gravity fed. There's like plumbing work involved.
I wasn't part of it. I just stumbled upon a campsite at a music festival once where they had they called it the udder. It was some kind of big plastic tub with 6 hoses coming from it.
Oh boy.
And they had one mother valve that just tripped the whole thing.
Yep.
And because it was to see who could do it quickest.
Yeah.
When you're bonging beer, that's a fucking photo finish. These people were blasted. So it's like, I don't know if I could. And there was something humiliating the loser had to do.
Okay.
And just like my junior high shot put career, when it comes to bonging beers, I might not be first, but I ain't going to be last. So I could feel comfortable going into
Aim
that.
for the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe we should. You want to try beer bonging as adults? That ought to be fun.
Oh, God. That sounds, I mean, I probably could stop. I'm sure I could give the old college try.
I feel like I just got a little nauseous.
I did. I kind of fucking did
so.
thinking about it. Like the indigestion. Yeah. God. Aging is a pitiful, sad thing.
Oh, God. Yep. Life slowly leaving all of us.
Yeah.
So episodes 21 to 23 of season 21 and episodes 1 and 2 of season 22 is the homework for next week. We're on episode 173 of Brews, Booze, and Reviews. Go listen to that. Listen to what we think of Absinthe. We don't have a number on it just yet, but we're going to be on an upcoming episode of Joke Quest 200 soon. I got to talk to Joe and see when that episode's coming out.
We're going to have fun.
We recorded it. It's happened already in the past.
It's on wax.
Yeah. We've gone gold, but it hasn't been released.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoy yourselves. You can find us on the internet at Barley Basket USA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. Get at me, Long John Silvers. We won't keep begging for it. We will. We'll keep begging
Just
for
give
it.
us. It'd be shockingly a low amount of money we would do this for.
I'll do it for Hush Puppies.
God, yeah.
The North Dakota Barley Association. Who else have we begged for fucking sponsorships from?
I take a shout out from Kurt Rambis.
Yeah, Kurt Rambis,
Yeah.
Bo Outlaw.
Oh, there's so many. Robin Lopez, Anderson Varejao. I'm just thinking of big men that.
We haven't covered this in a long time. Your lunch pail big men.
Yeah, no, that's early episodes. Yeah,
That's for the true fans.
I'll take Jason or Jaron Collins.
Okay,
either the
that
twins.
feels like a new one.
Yeah. They were kind of played a long time. Weren't big stat guys, just kind of bruisers. One of them was the first openly gay man in the NBA. I can't remember if it was Jason or Jaron.
Huh, good for him.
So one of them is more well known. Like one of them's Wikipedia page is longer.
Go watch Eddie Izzard's new special and listen to Rainbows by Kesha. It's a great record.
Enjoy.
That's your pile of homework.
There's a lot of
for the
homework there.
week.
Yeah.
Watch The Simpsons. Listen to us drink absinthe. Listen to this record and watch this stand-up special.
Look at Robin Lopez's career stat line on ProBasketballReference.com.
There you have it. Get to work, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.